Most people, it's always like looking ahead.
To try to rest or rejuvenate in any way without, my son being there it was emotionally heartbreaking.
And 6 designers, just like Durkin, donated their time and materials all to help double the space at the Ronald McDonald House. Our partners at Gulf Shore Life magazine interviewed some of the other designers about what inspired them, and you can read all about it in this month's issue of Gulf Shore Life magazine. You can pick that up at Publix, CVS, or Walgreens. But these high-end designers turn these rooms into really luxury rooms to offer a little bit of respite for these families.
It's incredible to see because these families, the caretakers, they go through so much too, and they just need a place to unwind.
Yeah.
That's great.
Breaking this morning, an overnight shooting in Cape Coral. New evidence that police are gathering and what they're telling us so far. That's coming up at 6.
And a dramatic rescue caught on camera ahead at 6 o'clock. What happened just before deputies had to rush in to save the day.
And sight unseen, all new next hour, why more people are buying homes without ever seeing the property in person.
.92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
He is not here. He is risen. Why was Jesus crucified on the cross, and what it could mean for you?
Join First Assembly of God in Fort Myers for their Good Friday and Easter services as members and guests worship together. Good Friday communion service times are 11 a.m., 12 noon, 1 p.m., 2, 3, and 6:30 p.m. Easter services begin Saturday at 6 p.m. with Pastor Russ. First Assembly's sunrise service begins at 7 a.m. outside under the portico with Reggie Dabbs speaking. Easter Sunday, join Pastor Russ with the choir and orchestra at 8 a.m., 9:30, or 11 a.m. Learn what Easter means to the world and what it could mean for you. You'll find Good Friday and Easter service times online at famfm.com. Worship together this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at First Assembly of God in Fort Myers at the corner of Colonial Boulevard and Summerlin Road.
Most people are coming in because they have a problem and they have all kinds of hopes and aspirations and things they want to do. And they're finally walking into the Good Feet store. I'm ready to dive in there and help them find a solution to their problem.
You're listening to Beth, an arch support specialist at the Good Feet store.
So this woman walks in. She's literally got tears coming out of her eyes. I'm going to Turkey. I'm going to be walking and walking and walking. I've wanted to go there my entire life. I can't walk and I don't know what to do. So help me. And I helped her.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
She called me and told me what a wonderful time she had on her trip, was virtually pain-free, that I had literally saved her life. I'm gonna cry. You just can't replace that.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors? My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdor.com.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
They watched it happen. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. Day 2 of the Derek Chauvin trial in Minneapolis has more witnesses describing the scene as the former police officer kneeled on George Floyd's neck as he died.
Genevieve Hansen testified that when she arrived at the Cup Foods at 38th and Chicago on May 25th, she could tell that George Floyd was in an altered state of consciousness and he needed medical attention. But when she identified herself as an emergency medical technician, Officer Tutau pushed her away. Donald Williams did his second day on the stand. He's prominent in the videos from George Floyd's death as he shouts and curses at the officers and repeatedly calls Derek Chauvin a bum. Williams' testimony goes beyond just a witness because he has experience as a mixed martial arts fighter, a discipline that uses chokeholds. He testified that Derek Chauvin used what Williams called a blood choke on George Floyd.
Fox's Mike Tobin. Florida House Republican Matt Gaetz, under investigation by the Justice Department for sex trafficking, denies he did anything wrong. The New York Times reports the investigation is about a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old girl and paying her to travel with him.
Congressman Matt Gaetz says allegations that he had a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old girl are rooted in a blackmail scheme against him and his family. He told Fox's Tucker Carlson,
"A person demanded $25 million in exchange for making horrible sex trafficking allegations against me go away."
Gaetz said his father has been wearing a wire at the request of the FBI to catch those involved, and he wants the Justice Department to release recordings from that wire. Meanwhile, Democratic Congressman Ted Lieu is calling for Gaetz to be removed from the House Judiciary Committee until the investigation is complete. In Washington, Sean Lanchel, Fox News.
G. Gordon Liddy died, 90 years old. He orchestrated the wiretapping of the Democratic National Committee headquarters at the Watergate Hotel in Washington, the scandal that eventually caused President Nixon to resign. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News traffic.
Commuting in Cape Coral on this Wednesday morning, we're slowing down on Veterans Parkway heading west of Skyline to Chiquita. The average speed around 30 miles per hour compared to usually 50 miles per hour. Also a slowdown on Beach Parkway west of Agualinda. But we look great on Cape Coral Parkway as well as Veterans if you're heading east to get out of the Cape. Both bridges also only a 2-minute commute. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. We have another warm day on tap as temperatures soar to the upper 80s. Near record heat will be possible for some of you before a few showers start to bubble up around 2 o'clock. Those will even linger into the overnight hours, all ahead of a cold front that drops our temperatures to the 70s daily, 50s at night as we head toward the weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
This is Greg, owner of Tropical Generator. And when I started my generator business 17 years ago, I made it a priority to focus on reliability. Generators are a lot like fire extinguishers. Hopefully, you never have to use it. But when you do, it better perform flawlessly. There are a lot of competitors out there whose only goal is to separate you from your money. Whether the generator actually performs in an emergency, well, that's not really a concern. Instead of taking a big risk on a cheap fire extinguisher, call Tropical Generator today for a reliable generator system. I offer you 17 years of experience doing expert generator installations, a 4-year degree in electrical engineering, and the highest level Florida licenses in electrical and gas contracting. I also live in Fort Myers and have personally selected and trained every one of our employees. At Tropical Generator, we're big enough to help and small enough to care. Call today, 239-206-4509 or tropicalgenerator.com. That's 239-206-4509 or on the web at tropicalgenerator.com. License EC 13007873.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. Need to know what it takes for a home loan to fit your budget and your family? Rocket can.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for a patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America. NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
At LMCU, our roots in your community just got a little deeper with the opening of our newest branch in Estero. When you bank with us, you can earn more on your money with our Max checking account and pay less on things like home mortgages and credit cards. We're proud to open our 13th Florida location at 21910 South Tamiami Trail. Our lobbies are open, plus you can schedule an appointment or visit one of our drive-thrus for contactless service. Our branches stretch far and wide for a reason. You. LMCU. You'll love banking here. Equal housing lender, member NCUA, and MLS number 442967.
Hello, I'm Brian Resney, president of Resney Wealth Management and host of the Resney Wealth Report and TV show on the weekends. Investors come to my TV and radio shows to learn and to get educated so they can make better decisions about their retirement and their portfolio. What's your risk management strategy? Are you willing to subject your portfolio to another massive decline in a set it and forget it strategy, or are you looking for a difference? Listen to my show Sunday mornings, 10 to noon on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Want to make your home a more comfortable place but don't think you can afford a top brand heating and cooling system? Well, Carrier has the right solutions for every budget. When you turn to your Carrier expert, they'll show you our full lineup of best-in-class home comfort systems and help you pick the one that best fits into your home budget. Because in this economy, who couldn't use a little more comfort? Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Visit Accurate Comfort Services online at AccurateComfortServices.com today. License number CMC 057023.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com. The website's up and running and back, and there you go. So if you want to watch streaming right there, Steele has 3 E's. Don't forget about that. We appreciate you watching. At Drew Steele Radio on Facebook as well, if you want to be there. I see Jake the Millennial is across the way. He's wearing all black. He's got a hat on. No mask. Where's your mask? There it is. All right. So he's if you're watching, you can see that he's showing off the mask as well. Very good. Good. Very impressive. Nice job there. You wearing your Satan sneakers too? You wearing your Satan shoes?
Yeah, I'm just swishing them.
That is just I'm sorry. It's we're doomed as a society. For those that don't know what I'm talking, are you familiar with what I'm talking about? The Lil Nas X Satan shoes supposedly thing going on there?
I'm aware.
Okay. All right. I didn't intend to open up with the show this way, but I just think it's so dumb as I'm reading into it. It's just, you have a rapper who has he had any, I mean, forgive me, so Lil Nas X had the rap song, a year ago or whatever it was, a year and a half ago, that was with, who did the song with him?
2 years ago.
Yeah, it was like a country rap song, but who did the singing part of it? It was, what's his name?
Achy Breaky Heart Guy.
Yeah, Billy Ray Cyrus was there, reviving a career that many thought never existed to begin with. But anyway, all right. And then, has he had any other hits beside that one with Achy Breaky Heart Guy or no? The Lil
Nas X guy? Oh, yeah, he's massive.
Okay, he's massive. So he decides, I guess, to stir the pot or stir it up or shake it up or stir it up or do something or whatever the case may be. Decides that he is going to put out a shoe, and so puts out a shoe and calls it a quote unquote Satan shoe, right? Which right out of the gate, if you're putting Satan on shoes, you got a little mixed thing going on there. There are some people like, hey, I'm not really sure if I want to go there, and then there are some people like, all right, this is a cool thing, mostly on the weird thing, but it's. I guess if it's something you want to do branding wise, if that's how you want to be branded, if you want people to think that that's where your association or affiliation with, or you just want to be outrageous, it's taking it to the next level, where some would say that Elton John back in the day or others have been over the top outrageous. There was one time when Elvis Presley, you couldn't see his hips shaking on TV, right? That was too outrageous. And then now it's become Satan shoes. You see where I'm going with this? That it's really just about the marketing of the person and the outrageousness that you would put there. In doing so, he gets a company who makes the sneakers, who puts the Nike logo on the sneaker, and they're not Nikes. Just let's put it this way. Nike's like, yeah, we don't make Satan shoes. That's our logo. And not only do we want them gone off the shelves, but we're also suing you guys. And so now he made like $700,000 off of whatever was in stock on the shoes themselves, because they were like $1,000 a pair, some kind of ridiculous number. They might lose that and then some in a lawsuit on copyright infringement for the little swoosh. Although Jake is looking and saying, what? You don't think so? It'll just go away?
What do they have?
Who, you mean?
Because it was made by a legitimate company. You know what I mean?
Well, it was, yeah.
That does this kind of thing.
You don't know a lot about copyright laws, right?
Yeah, but the thing is what can they do? Because if this
they
company
can do it.
Solely operates off customizing shoes.
No, they can do everything. You can't customize a shoe with somebody else's logo on it. If you've already
bought it. Because they bought the shoes prior.
Well, no,
they didn't counterfeit the shoes. If they counterfeited the shoes, that's different.
No,
but if it's Creative Commons, you're just taking something that you bought.
No. Wait, hold on a second. Okay, the company made the shoes. I apologize again. I didn't want to go this way. I just was reading a little bit more into it this morning as I was getting ready to go on the air and go, what are you doing? The manufacturer, what do they call Mischief or whatever they are, MSCHF, Mischief, something like that. So they manufactured the shoes, and in manufacturing the shoes, wherever they did it, whoever did it, whoever, whatever country they did went to manufacture this particular shoe, they lifted the swoosh. They took the swoosh of Nike and put it on the shoe as if it was a Nike. That's a trademark infringement.
But it's
you can't
an Air Max shoe. Like the shoe is already
No,
been
they
released.
took the whole design and everything. They lifted the whole shoe. In other words, it wasn't like Nike had nothing to do with it. They didn't give credit to Nike. Even if they did, Nike was in no way, shape, or form a part of this. It's a trademark infringement. You can't just take a Nike shoe and then slap a couple of things on it and go, hey, I'm going to resell it as a so-and-so shoe. That's a trademark infringement. You can't do that. It's highly illegal.
There's so
Otherwise, everybody would be doing
off of that.
Now, wait a minute. I'm not talking about some countries that do knockoffs of the same design, and we're not talking about that. That's a whole different story. I mean, if you're talking about a specific country that you might know that might have something to do with illegally lifting trademarks as a hobby and as a business model, and then recreates them, and then you go and buy them, and instead of being $1,000, they're only $5, and you're like, hey, it's the same shoe, right? Or it's the same computer, or it's the same iPhone, or it's the same, I don't know, fill in the blank, and it only costs. Yeah, no, that's highly illegal too, and that's at a government level, and that's a part of what the problem is with that particular country that's doing that. You're not allowed to, you can't, but they do because it's. Well, all right, I digress. Did I solve anything for you here?
No, because I think we should be more concerned about the fact that he put human blood in 666 pairs of shoes.
Yeah,
and then
he sold every one of them out.
Video?
No, I refuse
Don't
to
watch it.
I have to be honest. Not only did I refuse to watch the video, I refused to even talk about it until I jokingly mentioned it just now with you and your pair of shoes jokingly, and then now I had to explain to people what it is because if it goes by, they don't understand. Just imagine a rapper who's trying to make an impression to his followers and try to make a splash and be as outrageous as possible. Did this whole outrageous thing with shoes that he calls Satan shoes or whatever their sneakers or whatever they are, and then literally lifts the brand that it wants nothing to do with it, Nike, that had nothing to do with it, and recreates the shoe and then just does a kind of a little razzle-dazzle on the shoe. Like that. And then it's highly illegal and suspect. Seems to be a lot of that going on lately. Did you see the Matt Gaetz interview last night on Tucker Carlson? Did you hear what's going on with Matt Gaetz? So you have Matt Gaetz now, who we're being told is possibly under investigation or has been for sex trafficking underage girls. That's the accusation that's being made. A former DOJ official. By the way, Matt Gaetz went on to Tucker Carlson's program to pretty much lay it out and to explain what he thinks is happening or what he believes in his opinion is happening, and called out the person by name, a former DOJ official who he believes is doing this. It's so crazy. If for no other reason that if there is a legitimate investigation going on, if you're the prosecution or you're the defense and you're saying all of these things in the media, well, you've kind of just you've blown up a case. There's nothing. I guess he's trying to get ahead of it. Okay, so what we found out, or what we're hearing, is that Matt Gaetz is saying that there was an extortion scheme that involved demanding a meeting with Gaetz's father because there was $25 million demanded in exchange for making horrible sex trafficking allegations go away. So if you missed the interview, it's, again, It's a day of crazy stories. I come back. I take a couple of days off. I go to visit the family. I'm having a nice time. I'm enjoying myself. I'm even getting a little tiny little bit of sun. If you're watching at dristeel.com, you see I look. I don't look as. I look a little. I don't look better at all. But that's not the point. And then I come back, and all of a sudden it's crazy town, crazy stories. So here we go. Last night, Matt Gaetz on with Tucker Carlson because Tucker's like, "Hey, you want to come on the show?" He's like, "Yeah, all right." What's going on here?
It is a horrible allegation, and it is a lie. The New York Times is running a story that I have traveled with a 17-year-old woman, and that is verifiably false. People can look at my travel records and see that that is not the case. What is happening is an extortion of me and my family involving a former Department of Justice official. On March 16th, my father got a text message demanding a meeting wherein a person demanded $25 million in exchange for making horrible sex trafficking allegations against me go away. Our family was so troubled by that, we went to the local FBI. And the FBI and the Department of Justice were so concerned about this attempted extortion of a member of Congress that they asked my dad to wear a wire, which he did with the former Department of Justice official. Tonight, I am demanding that the Department of Justice and the FBI release the audio recordings that were made under their supervision and at their direction, which will prove my innocence and that will show that these allegations aren't true.
Can I just stop there? So you're following all of this? So they wire him up, and they even have some audio to show, or Matt Gaetz is claiming that there's audio to show that this was all a setup. So this is easily solved, right? Either it did happen or it didn't. And if the FBI has this information, the Department of Justice, they were so concerned about the idea that a member of Congress would be extorted this way that they had the dad wear a wire. Well, is that true? Is the evidence there? The New York Times put this story out, and then Matt Gaetz has to go on to defend. Like, if it's outrageous, outlandish, and this is happening, and there is evidence to prove that this is happening, then why is this happening? Right? It's a pretty open and shut case. He's saying, it seems like that, right? He's saying it didn't happen, and there's evidence to show that it was extortion, and there's audio to prove it because the dad was wired up. Well, how about we have that information, and we put this thing to bed right now? Or maybe we, on the other side, have some charges against the person that he's identified by name. Identified the person doing this by name.
They're merely intended to try to bleed my family out of money. And this former Department of Justice official tomorrow was supposed to be contacted by my father so that specific instructions could be given regarding the wiring of $4.5 million as a down payment on this bribe. I don't think it's a coincidence that tonight, somehow, the New York Times is leaking this information, smearing me, and ruining the investigation that would likely result in one of the former colleagues of the current DOJ being brought to justice for trying to extort me and my family.
Okay. And, and on the other side of that, he was supposed to do this $4.5 million down payment for the bribe and the wiring that would have showed that would happen. And now that's not going to happen because it's out in the open. And apparently the New York Times why is the New York Times doing it? So the New York Times is blowing all of this up and putting it out. And I guess the reason that he's saying, Matt Gaetz is saying that the New York Times is doing is because the truth is getting ready to come out. I guess they thought that they were going to get Matt Gaetz. And instead now the truth is going to come out because he's blowing the whole thing up wide open. And he feels like, I guess, they have enough information with the audio, the demanding a meeting with the $25 million demanded and the wiring up. So there's enough to show intent there that he could stop it from going any further. That the New York Times is leaking this because they want to smear his name. Well, that's done. That's done. There's no way out of this now. I mean, you go on Twitter and that's all you see. That is this story that half the country hates Matt Gaetz no matter what he does. You realize that. And so if for some people, if there's an opportunity to smear his name, they're all about it. But then then it becomes, again, the New York Times reported that the investigation, and this is all at the Daily Wire, so I'm reading this from the Daily Wire. New York Times was saying that an investigation centered around whether Gaetz violated federal sex trafficking laws, examining whether Gaetz had a relationship with a 17-year-old and paid for her to travel. The investigation was opened under the Trump administration, was part of a larger investigation into a political ally of his, a local official in Florida named Joel Greenberg, who was indicted last summer on an array of charges. So they're putting all of these dots together, making all of these connections. Was this supposed to be a connection that was supposed to go right up to the top, being Donald Trump himself? I mean, is that what they were trying to do? And now Matt Gaetz is putting the kibosh on that by laying all of it out and saying not only that this was happening, but naming a person named David McGee, a former federal prosecutor, flat out naming him. Well, the former DOJ official that Matt Gaetz called out on Tucker's show last night responded by saying that his allegations, Gaetz, against him, David McGee, the former federal prosecutor, were false and an attempt to distract from the legal issues that are up and coming. All of this just happening in the span of just hours. And even Tucker Carlson at the end of it was saying, what did he say?
That was one of the weirdest interviews I've ever conducted. That story just appeared in the news a couple of hours ago. And on the certainty that there's always more than you read in the newspaper, we immediately called Matt Gaetz and asked him to come on and tell us more, which, as you saw, he did. I don't think that clarified much, but it certainly showed this is a deeply interesting story, and we'll be following it. Don't quite understand it, but we'll bring you more when we find out.
Yeah. So Tucker was like, this is weird. This whole thing is weird. Now, again, it comes from the New York Times, so there's something to be said about it being suspect right out of the gate. What the motivation would possibly be to do this if it were completely 100% false. Trying to connect dots that don't connect just because they've got somebody in their sights that could have a connection to Gaetz and then possibly by default would have a connection to the president. Is that where you're going? Is this a distraction from all the things that are happening, including what's going on along our southern border and the crisis along the border? It almost seems peculiar that there would be something that now the media would be able to grab onto and jump onto this story and step away from what is right now currently the biggest story in the country, which is the crisis along the border. And just so you know that coming up at 7 this morning, we will have Tom Homan on. He's going to join us. He is at the border. And he, if you remember, was the acting director of ICE during the Trump administration. He's at the border, and about 7:05 this morning, he's going to join us live to give us a little more about the crisis, and we're going to get into that as well. But is this to deflect off of that? All of this is it's crazy. It absolutely is crazy. And just like Tucker said, I mean, it's just hours in the making. Keep an eye on the story and see how it unfolds. And we'll do the same. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live. DrewSteele.com, the website. Steele has 3 E's. And, of course, if you want to go to Facebook, at Drew Steele Radio as well for the time being. When we come back, here's something else I wanted to get to. Jim Eagle, as Biden puts it, and Georgia's voting law. Listen, when you have local news outlets who are saying, oh, there's a controversial law, the election law changes in Georgia, and they could make its way here to Southwest Florida and the state of Florida, and denying people online water and food. This is an outrage. What? Yeah, there's a lot that needs to be explained with that, because that's an outrageous thing to say. Is that what's happening? Are we getting ready to deny people water if you're waiting in line to vote? Really? Is that where we're going? Yeah, not so much. So we have to explain. That's coming up. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Hey, Alexa, play 92.5 Fox News.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions Incorporated, providing organic and botanical pest control solutions since 2011.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
On Wall Street Tuesday, stocks slumped as investors worried about the future of the pandemic as well as potential inflation. The Dow off about 104 points, the S&P off by 13, the Nasdaq down 14. Thanks to a short supply of homes and low mortgage rates, the cost to buy a house is on the rise. The S&P CoreLogic Home Price Index says prices across 20 cities were up in January by 11% over the year before. A major drugstore chain is getting into banking.
Walgreens wants to be your bank. It's launching a new bank account with MasterCard debit card and Income payments. The service will be established at Incom's partner, MetaBank, and will allow you to buy online and in stores and earn Walgreens cash rewards. Jenny Cosola, Fox News.
That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jill Nato, invested in you.
Cleanliness and safety are essential to the success of any business. That's why Cintas has introduced our Total Clean program, a one-of-a-kind service that includes scheduled deliveries of essential cleaning supplies, hygienically cleaned uniforms, and on-site sanitizer and disinfectant services to help eliminate germs. Learn what the Cintas Total Clean program can do for you.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the work.
How many client portfolios is your investment advisor responsible for? Is yours one of hundreds? Or perhaps your financial institution has just been acquired by yet another firm, and the team you've known for years is suddenly gone. At the Sanibel Captiva Trust Company and its division, the Naples Trust Company, our portfolio management team is local and care for a proper ratio of account relationships designed to give you the highest possible attention and an asset allocation that is best for you and your goals. Another key factor is that all of our employees are owners in the trust company through an employee stock ownership plan. So we have no interest in being acquired, and more importantly, we have a vested interest in seeing our clients as happy as we are. Are you ready for a better experience? Contact us at the Sanibel Captiva Trust Company or the Naples Trust Company. Visit sancaptrustco.com to discover the difference.
Not FDIC insured. All investments involve risk and are not guaranteed.
Hot out today, huh?
You know it.
Glad the AC's working.
No kidding.
What if the AC quit?
Oh, man. Couldn't do a thing inside then.
Too hot.
No way Ashley could do her homework in here.
Hard to concentrate.
Wouldn't even bother trying to study.
Well...
Of course her grades would slip.
Dave.
She could kiss Harvard goodbye.
Dave.
Probably end up at the U. Oh, my little girl.
Dave.
What?
What's the best case scenario?
Best case? Okay, best case, I make one call, AC's back up and running right away, everything's fine.
That's best?
Oh, sure, but...
That's best. Best Home Services. They have 4 AC trucks standing by waiting for you to call, loaded with parts, ready to go.
Right now?
Right now.
Huh. Sure is hot out today.
GetBest.com. When something goes wrong, we're waiting.
So you're saying...
She can still go to Harvard.
I'm Harvey Massey. Think about this for a moment. Pest control involves applying pesticides inside your home, whether needed or not. At Massey Services, we just don't do that. We prevent pests from getting inside your home, so we won't have to control them later. Why settle for pest control when you can trust Massey's pest prevention? It's guaranteed or your money back. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Unfortunately, many drivers in Florida do not carry liability insurance or have limits of insurance that are insufficient to cover your injuries. Uninsured motorist is valuable coverage that you can purchase to protect you in those instances. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Fort Myers, Naples.
Rockstar Harley has secured 0% APR financing on all new Harley-Davidsons this week. Rockstar Harley has over 300 Harleys on site ready for immediate delivery. Finance experts on site to help get you approved. 0% APR on all new Harleys this week at Rockstar Harley. On credit ends Sunday.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. go forth and...
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, growing apart, and feeling more like roommates than loving partners, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire is the only FDA-approved sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. There is no mask or hose and no need to sleep in separate rooms. If you are struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at inspiresleep.com. That's inspiresleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Wink News traffic.
Traffic is still slowing on Davis Road in Fort Myers, northbound to Iona. Also slowing traffic on Winkler. This is north to Gladiolus. The average speed is at 16 miles per hour. So the easy way to just get around this slowdown, Bass Road. Still up to speed though on Daniels Parkway, eastbound from 41 all the way to Tree Line, still about 11 minutes. Now if you're more towards downtown, slowing traffic is beginning on Hanson Street, east of Veronica Shoemaker. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. We have another warm day on tap as temperatures soar into the upper 80s. Near record heat will be possible for some of you before a few showers start to bubble up around 2 o'clock. Those will even linger into the overnight hours, all ahead of a cold front that drops our temperatures to the 70s daily, 50s at night as we head toward the weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I just want to say I love America because everyone gets a voice.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. Some of the biggest advertising air conditioning companies locally are not really local. They're part of national and international conglomerates, and you're just another number on the bottom line. At Kobe Cooling, we live right here. Our children and grandchildren live right here. We sponsor your kids' sports teams, local scholarships, local food banks, and all kinds of local organizations. We're not for sale now, and we never will be. The Kobe family started Kobe Cooling, we run it, and we even run service calls too. So when you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Local families serving local families. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949.
Water is life in Southwest Florida. It drives our economy from tourism to fishing to boating and quality of life. This is Adam Botana from Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, and we talk water for an hour every weekend on Fox News Radio. We feature guests on water quality, water safety, and water fun, including great boating day trips and tips on fishing. Join us this Saturday at 7 a.m. for the Baywater Exclusive Boat Club Hour with Adam Botana on 92.5 Fox News.
We invite you to visit United Fidelity Bank Banking Center located at 14241 Metro Parkway in Fort Myers, and let us help you save it, grow it, and enjoy it with our market-leading 12-month CD earning 0.55% APY. Shop and compare rates, and then invest with United Fidelity Bank's 12-month CD that earns 0.55% APY. The difference is United Fidelity Bank. A penalty may be imposed for early withdrawal. Annual percentage yield current as of 3/17/2021. This minimum deposit of $1,000 required to open CD. 12-month CD renews automatically.
The new administration has big plans for healthcare. Changes are coming that could limit your choice and make your health insurance premiums even higher. Tim Cooper at Health Plan Network recently saved a family of 4 in the Fort Myers area $600 per month. Act now. Protect yourself and your family with a superior health plan that cannot be canceled. This is a nationwide PPO plan, which allows you to pick your doctors and hospital. Start saving 30 to 60% now. If you are on Obamacare, not insured, or on COBRA, you can log into a private health plan managed by you, not the government. Call Tim Cooper, an expert with 24 years experience, at 239-368-6712. That's 239-368-6712. Online at healthplannetwork.net. That's healthplannetwork.net.
Hi, doctor.
So how are you feeling?
With Millennium Physician Group's telehealth service, MPG Connect, be seen by your Millennium healthcare provider in the comfort of your home from your computer, smartphone, or tablet. So good to see you. Call your Millennium Doctor's Office or 844-CALL-MPG to request a virtual visit with the care team who knows you best.
I'll talk to you soon.
Millennium's telehealth service, MPG Connect. Your doctor, your device, your connection to a healthier life.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list. And in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection. License number CCC 1326213.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
I was attempting to run her over, but then I see someone push her out the way. Had I not picked him up, she would have ran completely over him, and he would have been under the car. As I'm picking him up, she's just hitting us both. We just went flying over the car. I was trying to find the brakes. I couldn't find the brakes, but I didn't mean to hit them. It was an accident, and I hope they're okay.
She hopes they're okay. That was a woman in Pompano Beach, who accidentally hit a kid and the kid's grandmother with her car. They're fine. But later, in an interview with a TV station in Pompano, she admitted that she was trying to hit a different woman with her car after they got into a fight. How does that work? If you say, listen, I'm really sorry that I hit this person, and it's a good thing that they got away and they're okay, and he flipped over the hood and everything's fine, but they're going to be fine. But really, I was trying to hit somebody else because I was mad at him and I was in a fight. That's a problem, right? And I don't know how that ultimately ended, but that's not a good thing right there.
That's attempted murder.
Well, you have to. There's something there. So yeah, it was just sort of a casual interview there with the. I got to find out more about that story. Can you find out more? Is there a way that you can? Can you look that up? The woman that slammed her car into a grandmother in trial and claimed that no, I was trying to hit somebody else. Let's see. That says that this person is not allowed to have contact with the victims, according to a judge. And that's it. Just like that. I don't know. If you could find out something else, let me know. Or not. 239-479-5592. I'm not saying things are getting completely out of control across the globe, but we're this close. My fingers are thinly spread apart to the ridiculous things that are just getting off the rails way too quick. And how do you stop it? How do you stop some of the crazy things that we're hearing about that are going on from continuing? And I think in a lot of ways, the only way that you can do it is sometimes you can't let it just sit. You can't let it stay. You got to almost push back. That story, listen, people have to be held accountable. There's got to be a little more digging into what happened and maybe a little more than just a slap on the wrist. Maybe in that case, there's probably something there, I would say, especially if you're admitting it. I might make the case that if you take it to a broader sense and put it in the, let's say, the Jim Eagle and Georgia voting law, Jim Crow law controversy, non-controversy that's out there, Biden comparing state voting bills to Jim Crow, never mind the facts. That's a Wall Street Journal opinion piece that really talks about what we're mentioning now, the lead, which is how do we stop all of this from happening? How do we stop the crazy things from happening in the news? By pushing back. When we're told that we have to have vaccine passports, that the only way we're going to be able to travel is with a vaccine passport, which I told you months and months and months ago it was going to happen. It was inevitable that we were going to be in this kind of predicament. There was going to be a moment in time where people are going to say, if you're not vaccinated, then you're not going to be able to get all the good things in life. You're going to be denied. You think it's just passports? What about restaurants that are going to check to see whether or not you're vaccinated? What about theme parks that are not going to let you in unless you're vaccinated? What about all the things that you do on a daily basis that you're not going to be able to do because you're not vaccinated? You don't think that that's a possibility? There are people that are concerned about it. What do? You push back. You are armed with the truth and the facts, not truth over facts.
We choose truth over facts.
Yeah, don't get that confused. Not your truth, the truth. You understand the difference? And with Joe Biden and others who have gone on this Jim Crow, white supremacy rant that has been happening over and over and over again with anything and everything that we want to talk about politically, it's the left in this country that is constantly throwing out white supremacy and racism, and that's what it is. It's everything is racist. How are we going to even move forward as a country if everything that we do can't be talked about? We can't have a discussion, that it's automatically thrown out there that one side is doing it because it's an ism or an obia. That's it. There is no discussion. It's the court of public opinion as opposed to the truth and the facts, not the whole.
We choose truth over facts.
I know. I already said that. So you remember it was Joe Biden during his first press conference, which was pretty odd. And people were panning the other day, where he talked about what was happening in Georgia and these changes. The law on Thursday that they changed, the voting laws. And as the Wall Street Journal opinion piece talked about it, the overhyped voting law on Thursday, the news was met with more of the same. Biden says at his news conference that the voting bills percolating in the GOP state legislatures are un-American, sick, pernicious, and worse. And remember what he said about it there. He said,
and so I'm convinced that we'll be able to stop this because it is the most pernicious thing. This makes Jim Crow look like Jim Eagle.
Jim Crow look like Jim Eagle. And as the Wall Street Journal opinion piece says, come on, man, as Biden likes to say, the comparison is grotesque, and seeing that only requires swimming sideways for a minute to escape the rip current of the media narrative. Take a look what actually is happening in the legislation and what isn't happening. Georgia's new law leaves in place Sunday voting, a point of contention with earlier proposals. Given that black churches have a souls to the polls tradition after services, the legislature rather decided to expand weekend early voting statewide by requiring 2 Saturdays instead of only 1 under current law. So what are we talking about here? It's gone in a completely different direction. So what is Joe Biden saying? In total, Georgia offers 3 weeks of early voting. 3 weeks of early voting, which began last year on October 12th. This is not exactly restrictive. Compare that with early voting that started October 24th last year in New York. October 12th, they're going to have 3 weeks to vote. How much time do you possibly need? But no. It's restrictive. How? Now, here's a couple of other things. And then the one that is getting to a lot of people's nerve that is going to have to do what's going on here in the state of Florida and our news media here locally. Wall Street Journal opinion piece. The new law also leaves in place no excuses absentee voting. Every eligible Georgia voter will continue to be allowed to request a mail-in ballot for the sake of simple convenience, or for no reason at all. Again, this is hardly restrictive. More than a dozen states, including Connecticut and Delaware, require mail-in voters to give a valid excuse. But no, in Georgia, you don't even have to have a valid excuse. You just ask for it. So how is this restrictive? Nothing's changed. The law does require a voter ID for individuals who are casting absentee ballots, which previously was not the case. A voter would need to provide a driver's license number or another state identification number on the absentee ballot form. Oh, boy. gets rid of signature matching so election workers aren't trying to verify mail ballots by comparing John Hancock's. This subjective process should concern both sides. It creates avenues for contested outcomes with fighting over ambiguous signatures. In 2018, about 2,400 ballots in Georgia were rejected for issues with the signature or oath, according to a recent paper in Political Research Quarterly. Those voters were 54% black. Instead of signature matching, voters will submit a state ID number with their mail ballots or applications. This way, there's no arguing over handwriting. The ID number either matches or it doesn't. Georgians who vote in person are already asked to show identification. Anyone who lacks an ID can get one for free. And how many times have we talked about this? There's a remedy for every single thing that somebody would bring up when it comes to voting. When it comes to everything in life. Well, wait a minute. I don't have a driver's license. I don't drive. We'll get you an ID. I can't afford it. I don't have that. We'll get it for you for free. What else do you... I will hand deliver it. I'll have somebody from the state. I will have somebody from your municipality locally. I will have them come to your door and physically hand it to you. What more do you need? There's a remedy for everything, unless you're a Democrat. Now, here's the one thing that is really getting out of control, and it's this. Because I read about this over the weekend. Yesterday, as a matter of fact, there was another article that came up. Controversial bill updates numerous policies during elections, what voters can have at the polls. A controversial election bill could make the right to vote in the United States a bit less comfortable for voters at the polls. Really? Right to vote? Okay. How would it be less comfortable? Florida Republican lawmakers are considering joining Georgia. What are they joining Georgia with? Prohibiting water for voters standing in lines in the heat near the polling place. If House Bill 7041 here in the state of Florida passes, it would mean no food, no water, no security at the polls. Are you kidding? You got to be kidding me. Is that true? Well, this is horrible. Is that what they're doing in Georgia? Really? They're not allowing anybody any water? This is an outrage. No, that's not what's happening. And again, why are you here locally trying to make it seem now like the state of Florida wants to deny you water and food? So what's going on here? Wall Street Journal opinion piece talking about Georgia. And remember, this is a reflection on what could be happening here in the state of Florida if this House bill makes its way through the Senate and to the governor's desk. Much hay is being made about a provision that prevents third parties from giving gifts, including food and drink, to those standing in line at the polls. But the point is to prevent activists from showing up in union shirts or National Rifle Association shirts, for that matter, and passing out drinks and snacks with some subtle electioneering thrown in. As for the genuinely thirsty, the new law specifically allows poll workers to provide self-service water from an unattended receptacle. Do you see what's happening here? So what they want you to believe is the evil Republicans, and even here in the state of Florida, the evil Republicans, because all they want you to do is basically die. They want you to die at the poll. They want you to get to the polling place. They see there's a line there that's going to take a long time. It's August or September, October, whatever time period it is. And you know how hot it gets in Florida. And I know everybody who lives in Florida, not one single person says to themselves, it's August. I think it's going to be hot outside. I might want to take some water. Common sense. Nobody has common sense in the state of Florida. It doesn't exist. It's unbelievable how many people go out in August and September in Southwest Florida and don't even think to themselves, they're thinking, oh, I should take a sweater. Who's doing that? Nobody's doing that. But anyway. So what they're saying is you can't have somebody from a third party, an organization with T-shirts saying, hey, vote for Joe Schmo. And man, I hope Joe Schmo doesn't run this year, because every time Joe Schmo runs, it's awful. But anyway, so Joe Schmo or Jane Schmo or whoever Schmo or he, she Schmo. I don't know. I just want to be politically correct. Anyway, the Schmo is running and somebody is handing out water for the Schmo or handing out food for the Schmo. Hey, you hungry? You thirsty? Here, let me give you a bottle of water. Hey, I tell you what, the Schmo loves to keep everybody hydrated. I'm just saying, if you're going in there, do you see why they don't want third parties doing that? So They're not going to deny you the opportunity at a polling place to get water if you're thirsty. It would be sitting there unattended. You want to go get some water? Go get the water. It's sitting right there. If you're hungry, maybe there's a possibility if you want food, or I don't know, there's a snack tray or something that maybe that they would put out, that the state would put out, that at the polling place that they would put out, but it doesn't have Joe Schmo's name on it or anything else. Do you see what they're doing? They're trying to eliminate third parties to come in and make an influence of you standing online and being hot. Who's got a problem with that? 239-479-5592. Am I missing something? Nobody has a problem with that. But yet you got Joe Biden who wants to step up to a microphone and tell everybody, oh, this is Jim Crow laws. Are you kidding me? This is
pernicious thing. This makes Jim Crow look like Jim Eagle.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. That's not what's happening here. And when you continue to do this and continue to talk this way, especially when the president of the United States is representing this law as something that is so heinous that we can't even do business in this state. Brian Kemp, the governor of Georgia, is slamming the ridiculous calls for boycotts over election integrity laws. That people, we got to boycott the state of Georgia. This is no, it's not an outrage. Did you even bother to read it? Yeah, we read it, but half the country's not going to read it. So if we demagogue it enough, if we have enough rhetoric out there to make it sound like it's the most awful thing, and the president's going along with it and saying it's pernicious, and Jim Crow's, this is Jim Eagle, and saying all of these, if we continue to do this and push and push and push and make it sound like it's something that it's not, nobody's going to take the time to check themselves. They're going to believe us. And that's what they're banking on. And the fact is that you have too many local news organizations as well who are running with this. Why are you doing that? Why are you misrepresenting it? Stop ripping and reading from places like CNN and MSNBC. Stop doing it. And find out what the truth is. Because if you actually see what's happening, you come to realize that when it comes to the water being denied and food being denied, that's not what's happening. 239-479-5592. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, the former ICE administrator, Tom Homan, is going to join us. He's at the border in Texas. We're going to find out exactly what's going on along the border. Tom Homan joining us coming up on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I just want to say I love America because everyone gets a voice.
This is 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
Rush Limbaugh.
A huge unanswered question in the story I'm about to tell you. But first, the facts as we know them. Linda Hampton is a preschool teacher in the Waco Independent Public School District. She saw that one of her young students was in distress. The little boy had stuffed so much pizza into his mouth it began to choke. So Ms. Hampton ran to the child and performed a finger sweep. Now, for those of you in Rio Linda, a finger sweep isn't what you think it is. The teacher cleared out the boy's mouth with her finger, pulling out a gob of pizza. The boy was saved. It was a job well done. But a year later, state regulators reviewing the situation moved to take away Linda Hampton's teaching license. Apparently, a classroom aide had a different perspective. She claimed a teacher's finger sweep was just a mean-spirited attempt to deprive the 5-year-old of his public school breakfast. Yet another adult in the classroom backed Ms. Hampton's account, but state investigators never bothered to speak with her. Now, thankfully for Linda Hampton, Robert Mueller wasn't called in, or she might be still under investigation. Finally, last week, after 2 years, she prevailed when the aide admitted the boy had indeed been in distress. The judge tossed the case, which brings us to the big unanswered question. Since when do preschool kids get taxpayer-supplied pizza for breakfast, for crying out loud? To heck with the finger sweep. When do we start doing this?
Daisy sheds like crazy. Our hairballs have hairballs.
Our cat Mama, she has dandruff and an oily coat.
DINOVITE.com.
I was thrilled when I heard Dinovite for Cats was coming out.
If you love your pets as much as I do, you want to do what's best for them.
Dinovite is a life changer.
Lately, she's been a lot more playful, a lot more energetic, more active.
Dinovite for life.
You won't believe how happy your cat will be.
DINOVITE.com.
When it comes to building wealth, knowing where you stand is half the battle. That's why we've created Stifel Wealth Tracker. Stifel Wealth Tracker lets you build your personal balance sheet and track your net worth over time. You can securely link your financial accounts using bank-level encryption and even connect with a Stifel financial advisor if you need professional guidance regarding your situation. Download Stifel Wealth Tracker on the App Store, Google Play, or by going to stifel.com/tracker. That's STIFEL.com/tracker.
Pandemic, market drops, elections. Don't let the noise and fear distract you. Where do you go for clarity in uncertain times? I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's financial planner. For experience, advice on planning for retirement, visit savingtheinvestor.com.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for a patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America.
NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
Nothing runs like I need something I can depend on. I need a Kubota.
At Florida Coast Equipment, we have equipment you can depend on. We have the best deals in town for Kubota tractors, mowers, utility vehicles, and Kubota construction equipment. Our family has been Florida's premier Kubota dealership for over 30 years. Whether you're buying, renting, or simply need your Kubota service, come on over to Florida Coast Equipment in Naples. Equipment you can depend on at a price you'll love. Florida Coast Equipment. We've got you covered.
Rockstar Harley has secured 0% APR financing on all new Harley-Davidsons this week. Rockstar Harley has over 300 Harleys on site ready for immediate delivery. Finance experts on site to help get you approved. 0% APR on all new Harleys this week at Rockstar Harley. On credit and Sunday.
Water everywhere. You can't swim in it. You can't stand drinking it. Heck, it's so bad it's on the news every day. Hi, I'm Rob Hill from Bob Hill Plumbing. We've invested over 66 years here in Naples, bringing you clean, drinkable water for your home or condo. We realize we can't fix the water problems everywhere, but we can definitely clean up the water inside your home. Our government does their best to deliver safe water for use. But wow, who wants chlorinated yellow water at every faucet? Let us install a Halo home filtration system and remove all the bad taste, color, and odor from your water. Halo removes 99% of all chlorine, ammonia, and all the bad-tasting chemicals in our municipal water system. Call Bob Hill Plumbing today and let us install a Halo water system in your home so you can once again enjoy clean, bottle-quality water at every faucet. Bob Hill Plumbing. Let me be your plumbing guy.
To schedule service, call Bob Hill Plumbing at 262-6119 or bobhillplumbing.com.
Is your car a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it? Would you rather be driving a brand new Nissan equipped with all the latest technology and safety features? Hey, Aaron Walker here from Naples Nissan. If your trade-in is a 2012 or newer, yes, a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it, we'll give you the original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Bring us that old Chevy, Honda, Toyota, Ford. We don't care where you bought it from. We don't care if you bought it new or used. Go to NaplesNissan.com. Pick out your favorite new Nissan model with Bluetooth, backup camera, and that new car smell. You can have it all today after we pay you what you paid for your trade-in. Don't wait. Get full details at NaplesNissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
At LMCU, our roots in your community just got a little deeper with the opening of our newest branch in Estero. When you bank with us, you can earn more on your money with our Max checking account and pay less on things like home mortgages and credit cards. We're proud to open our 13th Florida location at 21910 South Tamiami Trail. Our lobbies are open, plus you can schedule an appointment or visit one of our drive-thrus for contactless service. Our branches stretch far and wide for a reason. You, LMCU. You'll love banking here. Equal housing lender, member NCUA, and MLS number 442967.
The American Jobs Plan. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. That's what the Biden administration is calling the spending plan President Biden announces today in Pittsburgh.
The idea is to repair bridges and roads and also develop America's human capital. Press Secretary Jen Psaki gave a preview.
He'll talk this week about investments we need to make in domestic manufacturing, R&D, the caregiving economy, and infrastructure.
President Biden's expected to take on delivering clean drinking water, a renewed electric grid, and training Americans for the jobs of the future. But to pay for it, administration officials say there's a plan to propose boosting the corporate tax rate from its current 21% up to 28%. In Washington, Jill Nato, Fox News.
The teenager who recorded the video of George Floyd's death that many of us saw testifies at former police officer Derek Chauvin's trial in Minneapolis.
She told prosecutors things looked grim for Floyd as he was taken by EMTs.
Did they revive him there?
No.
Did you ever see him conscious again when he left the scene, before he left the scene?
No.
Off-duty firefighter Genevieve Hansen was also there. A defense attorney asked why she became angry, as others who looked on did.
I don't know if you've seen anybody be killed, but it's upsetting.
The prosecution plans to continue calling eyewitnesses and possibly expert witnesses when court resumes.
Fox's Gernal Scott. Florida House Republican Matt Gaetz under investigation by the Justice Department for sex trafficking involving paying for a 17-year-old girl to travel with him denies doing anything wrong.
The person doesn't exist. I have not had a relationship with a 17-year-old. That is totally false. The allegation, as I read it in the New York Times, is that I've traveled with some 17-year-old in some relationship. That is false, and records will bear that out to be false.
Congressman Gaetz tells Fox's Tucker Carlson he's the victim of an extortion attempt by a former Justice Department official. America's listening to Fox News.
.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News traffic.
A crash in Lehigh Acres at 82 and Gunnery Road. This is not the place we need a crash this morning, but if you are heading this way, we do have a slowdown southbound on Gunnery. Heading out of Lehigh, better option, definitely Lee Boulevard to Colonial. Also slowdowns on 82 to the east of Griffin Drive. That Daniels extension just normally starting to get very packed if you're heading west towards Gateway, as well as west to Treeline Avenue. The trip to the minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. We have another warm day on tap as temperatures soar into the upper 80s. Near record heat will be possible for some of you before a few showers start to bubble up around 2 o'clock. Those will even linger into the overnight hours, all ahead of a cold front that drops our temperatures to the 70s daily, 50s at night as we head toward the weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News.
Right. All along. Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
Hello, I'm Brian Resney, president of Resney Wealth Management and host of the Resney Wealth Report and TV show on the weekends. Investors come to my TV and radio shows to learn and to get educated so they can make better decisions about their retirement and their portfolio. What's your risk management strategy? Are you willing to subject your portfolio to another massive decline in a set it and forget it strategy, or are you looking for a difference? Listen to my show Sunday mornings, 10 to noon on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Sometimes in business, the unexpected comes calling. From rent increases to increased orders to, I'm going to say it, unprecedented times. But don't bounce back. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward with fast, reliable internet on the network that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses and gives you the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks. Be fast, be flexible, be ready for what's next, and bounce forward with Comcast Business. Help your business bounce forward with this amazing offer. Get started with a powerful and reliable internet and voice solution from Comcast Business, starting at just $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Restrictions apply. Limited to new Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and one voice mobility customers. Early termination fee applies. Enrollment in EcoBill and AutoPay required. Call for details.
It is time once again for our First Fridays at Oaks Farm Seed to Table. Our First Friday event, we're there from 6 to 9 a.m. at Oaks Farm, the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in North Naples. They open up an hour early so you can join us, watch the program live, have breakfast, grab a cup of coffee. So join us this coming Friday, our First Friday events at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in North Naples, 6 to 9 a.m. It's Daybreak Live with 92.5 Fox News.
Easter is a day for celebrating our faith, spending time with family, and enjoying delicious food as we gather around the table. Fill your Easter table with fresh, nutritious food from Seed to Table and Oaks Farms Market. Make sure you come see us before Sunday because we will be closed Easter Sunday to spend time with our families. Happy Easter from Seed to Table and Oaks Farms Market. From the seed to the table, grown in Naples.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com. That's the website. It's mobile friendly. Steele has 3 E's. The former acting director of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, that is Thomas Homan, and he's joining us right now on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. He's at the border. First of all, good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
So where exactly are you along the border right now? Where are you located?
I'm down in McAllen, Texas, Rio Grande Valley.
All right. And I can tell you that many people have been talking about this each and every week. I've been talking with Dave Ray, the Federation for American Immigration Reform, and obviously we've been talking about the issues along the border. You're having the opportunity to see this firsthand and report on how it is there. And boy, I'll tell you, some of the photos we've seen recently, some of what we're hearing about, it looks and sounds awful. As you're there, what have you witnessed?
Well, look, I'm seeing an unprecedented surge of families, and especially UACs. The numbers of the UACs are at a number we've never seen before. And I think you're going to see conservative number, 150,000 encounters this month, which is way over the 100,000 last month. The Border Patrol is overworked. About 40% of their manpower is no longer on the line. They're taking care of these family units, which means the border is vulnerable to the cartels moving drugs and bad people through the unguarded portions. I mean, this humanitarian crisis has quickly become a national security crisis.
So is that true then, what we're hearing, that a lot of these Border Patrol agents, they're not there patrolling because they're too busy taking care of the unaccompanied minors, these illegals that are coming in, these places, these detention sites, 1,700% capacity, we're told, at one location. So is that what's happening? They're not doing their job. They're ending up doing something else.
Well, that's exactly what's happening. I mean, and the cartels know that. I mean, that's why the cartels in Mexico who run operations on the border, the Mexican government don't run the northern border of Mexico. The cartels do. So the cartels know that they manage and they plan this. They run a group of 200 family groups through one area, knowing that would tie the Border Patrol assets up, so they can, run their, again, narcotics through the unguarded area. They know exactly what they're doing. This is all in a big plan that the cartels use, and that's why the alien smuggling organizations have to pay the cartels and work with the cartels on that border. They're using this crisis as a way to, get their product into the United States. And during the last family crisis, over 60,000 Americans died from fentanyl overdoses that were smuggled across the border during the last family crisis.
Yeah, I saw a report just recently. I thought it was yesterday, as a matter of fact. I think it was $8 million worth of fentanyl was taken at the border, and we're seeing more and more of that. The big question for you, and I might ask this because a lot of people have been asking me, so what's the difference with the policy? What were you doing at the time during the Trump administration there as the former acting director of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and what you've seen and what you were doing policy-wise then? What is the difference between what was going on then and what is happening specifically now with the Biden administration, the differences?
We enforce the law under the Trump administration, and they're not enforcing the law.
Yeah.
This administration has made it clear they're not going to enforce the law. They've done a couple of things. Number one, they've killed all the policies that gave us the most secure border and historic low illegal immigration within 2 weeks. They took the most secure border and made it to this crisis we see right now within 2 weeks. They also gutted ICE. They took 90% of ICE's authority away. So ICE has been decapitated. ICE isn't able to enforce the laws that Congress enacted, and they're not able to deport people that a federal judge has ordered deported. ICE is, that's your number one mission is to execute orders issued by federal judges to remove people. And you got the secretary, he says, well, we're enforcing the law. These people have a right to claim asylum and see a judge. Well, the law also says that if he's ordered removed, he must be removed. So they're forgetting the back end of it. So look, this is an open borders agenda. President Trump secured the border, and these people came in and opened the border up. This isn't by accident. This isn't, incompetence. This was done by design.
Yeah. Have you, where you're located specifically, have you witnessed people trying to cross illegally? Have you seen individuals doing that? And then on the other side of that, how about some of those that have been freed into the U.S. by this administration? I wonder what those numbers look like.
Well, there's been about 45,000 released into the U.S. already, based on my conversations with people down here.
Wow.
And I can tell you that I went out on Sunday night, and within 20 minutes, I saw close to 200 walking out of the brush and turning themselves into the Border Patrol, women and children, and some men and children. But within 20 minutes, I saw close to 200 turning themselves in. And I was talking to one of the Border Patrol agents. He recognized me. Most of these guys do. Yeah. And I was talking to him and said, well, so I see these Border Patrol agents there's a group of 100, another group of about 80 down the road a little bit. So I say, well, a lot of Border Patrol agents here to take care of these people. So let me ask you this. How far away is the next Border Patrol agent? He says several miles, because now you got almost 200 people that are trying to take care of these people. And he said, and we know right now, while we're sitting here taking care of these families and doing the medical evaluation, they had to call an ambulance for one lady, that the cartels are moving product across the border and they can't cover it, they can't respond to it, because they're dealing with a humanitarian crisis and have these women and children in possession. So the men and women Border Patrol are just frustrated because they know the cartels are playing this game, and there's nothing they can do about it. And again, this was totally preventable. What's frustrating the most, this was totally preventable, and the Biden administration knew exactly what they're doing, so they created this crisis.
Yeah, and I wonder how does this end? How do we stop this when you know that even with this idea that President Biden is telling these countries, don't send anybody here, don't come here. They're not hearing that message. They know loud and clear what the message is. Even if he were to say anything now, they are fully aware of the ability to get into the country. And so how does it ultimately end? Does it end with more people being able to come to the border, like you being there and seeing the not only the conditions, but seeing what's going on with smugglers and everything else, and being able to report on it more? I just wonder how this all ends when we have more groups coming in from other areas.
I think, well, way it should end, the president should reinstate the Remain in Mexico program. That would stop this tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I doubt he would do that, because it's a Trump policy, and this is all anti-Trump. They didn't want to destroy anything Trump, even though it made sense and it worked. How I think it ends, I think what their plan is they're going to build some infrastructure, and they're building a facility right now next to the Donna facility. They're spending $700 million on it. They want to move these families and kids out of Border Patrol facilities faster into the hands of sponsors and parents that actually pay for them to be smuggled here. They want to move them through the system quicker. That way, when you go to a Border Patrol station, you don't see 700% over capacity. Then they'll say, if there's no longer a crisis, we're handling it. So it's not about stopping the flow. They just want to just handle the flow better, so it doesn't look like a catastrophe with overcrowding. So rather than fixing the border and securing the border, they're just going to think of a way to just be more efficient at releasing people.
It's unbelievable. It is absolutely, and the situation, knowing full well that it doesn't have to be this way. There's a simple fix, like you said, like just following the law and the Return to Mexico initiative and what we had in place before, and being able to put that back. But what this administration will do, even though the warnings were out there and knew that there would be an unmitigated crisis if it were to be this way, and they moving forward with it, it just seems outrageous. And we're just so glad that you are there to report and to see what is happening there. We appreciate it so much. The former acting director of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, that's Thomas Homan, who's joining us right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Sir, I appreciate a few minutes of your time. Thanks so much, and all the best. We'll hope to speak with you soon.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks so much. Yeah, it's got to be frustrating. You know, we talk to Dave Ray, the Federation for American Immigration Reform, all the time, and we see and hear about everything that's going on. Tom Homan right there, who is reporting from the border, and he's seeing it, and you can hear the frustration in his voice. I can only imagine as he is witness to something that not only doesn't have to be happening, it's falling apart there, but where's the end? The end in sight? Is there any? And like he said, moving them out of the border quickly, getting the kids to sponsors, to family members who have paid to bring them in, knowing full well that on the other side of that, there'll be more families, more opportunity to come into the country. I was just reading something, where was it? Just recently, where they were talking about the literally what they've been telling those on return back into the country, as they have been releasing people. You heard 45,000 plus. They continue to bring people and allow people to come back into the country. That this idea that what they're going to do now is to explain to them that they're going to have a court date. And in some cases, we're talking about months away for these court dates. Do you really think that they're going to come back for court dates? And you already know the answer. Family groups now are crossing the border in soaring numbers, we're starting to hear about as well. And so a crisis that has been made by this administration, one that could stop just like that. And just like Tom Homan said, and following the rule of law and the Return to Mexico policies, put that back in place. And this humanitarian crisis just continues. It's under Biden's watch, and people see it, and I wonder what the American people are thinking about this right now. 239-479-5592. Let's take a break. And when we come back, we can talk more about that. Certainly these appalling photos that many people have witnessed, and some of the other things we're hearing from CBP and COVID infections and just awful, some other awful things that I hate to even repeat. But we'll get to that coming up. 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
A crash on 75 southbound at mile marker 128 heading south of Alico is delaying traffic heading south of Daniels. So not a place to be stuck in. Go ahead and stick to Tree Line or even 41 to avoid this. Also, a disabled vehicle at Palm Beach Boulevard and Joel Boulevard still there. However, traffic really easing up here. Now just a tap on the brakes as you're heading east of Broadway. Also, a crash reported at Gunnery Road in 82. Slight slowdown southbound on Gunnery starting from 23rd. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Still starting off with a little bit of patchy fog inland, but that should wrap up pretty quickly as we approach 9 o'clock. Otherwise, sunshine abundant to start off the day with clouds mixing in this afternoon. High temperatures will peak in the upper 80s, even near record heat possible for some of you. That, of course, before those showers start to roll in around 2 o'clock this afternoon. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed. Mornings with Drew Steve. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Nothing runs like a... I need something I can depend on. I need a Kubota.
At Florida Coast Equipment, we have equipment you can depend on.
We have the best deals in town for Kubota tractors, mowers, utility vehicles, and Kubota construction equipment. Our family has been Florida's premier Kubota dealership for over 30 years. Whether you're buying, renting, or simply need your Kubota service, come on over to Florida Coast Equipment in Naples. Equipment you can depend on at a price you'll love. Florida Coast Equipment. We've got you covered.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list. And in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection. License number CCC 1326213.
Friends, I care.
Trey Riddle, your host of The Drive here. I had my LASIK procedure done with Dr. France and his team. It was life-changing. Also, have had some family members who've dealt with Dr. France and his team, including for cataract surgery. It's pretty amazing what they can do these days. They've got this lifestyle lens, which really shows how technology has transformed over the years, so much so that it's not just about having your cataracts removed anymore. It's about enhancing your vision. And with that, your lifestyle gets self. Trust Dr. France and his team of surgical specialists at France Eye Care to guide you through the process of choosing the right lens solution for you and your eyes. The experience of their team matters. The quality outcomes matter. Again, they changed my life and did great work with my family as well. Give them a call today. Just dial ** 2020 on your mobile or call 239-418-0999.
Friends, I care.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors? My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdor.com.
True relief for back and neck pain.
Are you driving down the road right now with back or neck pain or pain into your arms or legs? Maybe your struggle is getting out of your bed or chair. Maybe you get weakness when you put weight on your leg or swing your golf club. It's time you address this problem once and for all. At Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, these are the conditions that we treat every day, except we treat the root of the problem. No injections or pain meds. Non-surgical spinal decompression, recognized around the country for incredible statistical results for long-term pain relief. Break the cycle of pain from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, arthritis, or car accidents. Non-surgical spinal decompression can get your life back. Spinal decompression is safe and comfortable for any age and doesn't involve any hanging upside down. Don't hurt anymore when the answer is only a phone call away. Call our Medicare-friendly office, Johnston Spinal Care, for a free telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Can you clarify for us what happened with the president's dogs? There's some reports that one of them was involved in a biting incident. Can you clarify exactly what happened?
Sure. Champion Major, the President and First Lady's dogs, members of the family, are still getting acclimated and accustomed to their new surroundings and new people. And on Monday, the First Family's younger dog, Major, was surprised by an unfamiliar person and reacted in a way that resulted in a minor injury to the individual, which was handled by the White House Medical Unit with no further treatment needed.
Hey, guess what, everybody? It's deja vu all over again. So the dog there, Major, the president's dog, reportedly involved in another biting incident. So it happened again? Two sources familiar with the matter told CNN that 3-year-old Major, the younger of Biden's 2 German Shepherds, nipped a National Park Service employee during his walk on the south lawn of the White House. He was working at the time and required medical attention from the White House medical unit. So here we go again. So Still just, so they're saying again now, Michael LaRosa, the First Lady's press secretary, said, just trying to get used to the new surroundings, everybody. I don't know if there's any more people to bite. Is that how you get used to the surroundings? Is there's no longer, here comes the dog, everybody run! I mean, how do you get used to it? I mean, you got to feel for the dogs, right? I mean, even when they're just trying to get fed and they got to have the owner there standing and...
I got hairy legs.
Like, no, I need some Alpo. They still make Alpo? Is that still? Do you even know what I'm talking about? Alpo? Is that a thing? The dog food?
Oh yeah.
When I was growing up, Alpo was like you didn't say get the dog some dog food. You'd say get the dog some. Go feed the dog. Get him some Alpo. Like it was just kind of like when you say you go to the. If you don't say get me the petroleum jelly, you say get me some Vaseline. That. No. I'm on an island. All right, no problem. 239-479-5592. I don't know how many more times these dogs have to bite people before they're like, hey, they're not getting used to the new surroundings. We might have to do something. I thought the dogs went, that's the other thing. I thought the first time the dog bit somebody, I thought the dog ended up back in Delaware or someplace else. I don't know. Not really sure what's going on with the dog thing. And I really don't care that much. All right, coming up. Well, I care that people get bit. It's an awful thing. All right, 64% of Americans see cancel culture. How? How do a majority of Americans look at cancel culture? The answer may surprise you or may not. We'll get to that coming up. 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is Daybreak 92.5 Fox News.
I'm about to say a dirty word, a really dirty word. Cover your kids' ears. Ready? Plumber. Hi, I'm Rob Hill of Bob Hill Plumbing. I'm not sure why plumber is a dirty word. I like to think of myself as a respectful, clean, and honest plumber. In fact, I'm proud to say that Bob Hill Plumbing is one of the oldest businesses in Naples. My dad founded Bob Hill Plumbing in 1952. I instill the same tradition and values as he had back in the 50s. I dare you to find that in the chuck in a truck world. Everyone has an AC guy and an electrical guy, but a plumber? If you need plumbing services, I invite you to call me today, and I'll prove to you that we've cleaned up the word plumber. See, even the radio guy stopped beeping me out. Bob Hill Plumbing. Let me be your plumbing guy.
To schedule service, call Bob Hill Plumbing at 262-6119 or go to bobhillplumbing.com.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for a patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America. NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
So it's almost time for Florida snowbirds to migrate back to their northern homes. Will you be heading home soon? Please consider donating any of your unopened pantry items before you leave town and be part of Lee County's 3rd annual Donated Not Wasted Food Rescue. From Monday, March 22nd through Monday, April 5th, you can drop off unopened canned or dry goods at any library or any Lee County Recreation Center. Additional collection containers are located at the 6 Mile Cypress Slough and the Lee County Solid Waste's Topaz Court Household Chemical Waste Facility. So as you prepare to leave for the season, please consider being part of this effort to reduce food waste in Southwest Florida. Please join Lee County government as they partner with Harry Chapin Food Bank, Fox 4, Waste Pro, and libraries of Sanibel and Fort Myers Beach to rescue food that might otherwise end up in the waste stream and instead get that food to hungry people. Donated, not wasted. Lee County's Food Rescue, March 22nd through April 5th. Be part of it.
Rockstar Harley has secured 0% APR financing on all new Harley-Davidsons this week. Rockstar Harley has over 300 Harleys on site ready for immediate delivery. Finance experts on site to help get you approved. 0% APR on all new Harleys this week at Rockstar Harley. On for credit ends Sunday.
Would you rather make your own way or spend your life saying, what if? Life is calling. How far will you go? Peace Corps. To find out more, call 1-800-424-8580 or go to peacecorps.gov.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. The only vaccine approved for 16-year-olds in the U.S., a step closer to being cleared for even younger people to prevent COVID. The Pfizer vaccine is 100% effective in preventing the coronavirus in kids ages 12 to 15, according to the drug maker, which plans to submit its data to the FDA. Meanwhile, China reacts to critics of a newly released report on the possible origin of the pandemic.
China says Chinese scientists working with World Health Organization experts were open, transparent and responsible. The Chinese government is pushing back after the US and other countries said they weren't satisfied with a WHO report investigating how the coronavirus outbreak began.
Fox's Simon Owen. America's listening to Fox News.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News traffic.
A crash on 75 southbound at mile marker 128 heading south of Alico is delaying traffic heading south of Daniels. So not a place to be stuck in. Go ahead and stick to Tree Line or even 41 to avoid this. Also, a disabled vehicle at Palm Beach Boulevard and Joel Boulevard still there. However, traffic really easing up here. Now just a tap on the brakes as you're heading east of Broadway. Also, a crash reported at Gunnery Road in 82. Slight slowdown southbound on Gunnery starting from 23rd. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. We have another warm day on tap as temperatures soar to the upper 80s. Near record heat will be possible for some of you before a few showers start to bubble up around 2 o'clock. Those will even linger into the overnight hours, all ahead of a cold front that drops our temperatures to the 70s daily, 50s at night as we head toward the weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Blah, 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 blah. Gear up for the liberal loudmouths at work. Drew Steele, mornings on 92.5 Fox News.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
Want to make your home a more comfortable place, but don't think you can afford a top brand heating and cooling system? Well, Carrier has the right solutions for every budget. When you turn to your Carrier expert, they'll show you our full lineup of best-in-class home comfort systems and help you pick the one that best fits into your home budget. Because in this economy, who couldn't use a little more comfort? Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Visit Accurate Comfort Services online at AccurateComfortServices.com today. License number CMC 057023.
We get it. You miss your basement. Hi, it's Joseph and Kelly Edison from Closet Factory.
Midwestern family values are how we were raised. Our organization's solutions give you more time, space, and peace, like you remember. Your new space will look, work, and feel beautiful.
We're ready to work hard for you. Schedule your complimentary in-home design consultation. Simply call us today or visit closetfactory.com and imagine what Closet Factory will custom make for you.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
You probably know Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano for car accidents and other personal injury matters. But did you know they have attorneys who specialize in many other areas of the law? Whether you're in need of creating or updating your will and testament, or need advice about divorce or child custody, They have an attorney for you. And unlike the all-too-familiar competitors, at Lusk, Dre Sites, and Talisano, you'll be meeting directly with the attorney handling your matter, not some coordinator or case manager looking to increase their numbers. Lusk, Dre Sites, and Talisano. They've been serving you for over 35 years. Have a family law question? Are you seeking a divorce or have child custody issues you need resolved? Do you need assistance with dividing property? At Lusk, Dre Sites, and Talisano, their attorneys can walk you through this difficult process as the needed advocate to protect your legal rights. They've been here for you in the past, they're here today, and will be here for you tomorrow. LDTlaw.com. Offices Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Naples.
At LMCU, our roots in your community just got a little deeper with the opening of our newest branch in Estero. When you bank with us, you can earn more on your money with our Max checking account and pay less on things like home mortgages and credit cards. We're proud to open our 13th Florida location at 21910 South Tamiami Trail. Our lobbies are open, plus you can schedule an appointment or visit one of our drive-thrus for contactless service. Our branches stretch far and wide for a reason. You. LMCU. You'll love banking here. Equal housing lender, member NCUA, NMLS number 442967.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com. There's the website. You can go there right now. Steele has 3 E's, and it's good for your phone and your smart device and your computer. Still want to watch on Facebook, that's fine for the time being, at Drew Steele Radio. We put it up there as well. All right, so a couple of things about the CDC, a couple of things about the latest with the vid, and what are we going to do here? We're going to have vaccine passports, so we're going to have them. Do you believe that we're going to have a vaccine passport? And if you hear that the only way that you're going to be able to travel is to have the vaccine, and you need to have a card that proves that you have it, what are you going to do? Are you planning on getting the vaccine just because of that? Love to know. 239-479-5592. Are you thinking, hey, listen, I can't beat them, join them. If they're telling me I have to do it in order to travel, I know what's coming next. I'm worried about what's coming next. It's probably going to my favorite restaurant, being able to go to a pool, go to a theme park, go to who knows what. These vaccine passports, if I don't have it, we're going to be in some trouble, and I'm not going to be able to leave, and I don't want to be that guy. So, I'll get the vaccine. Is that you or gal? A couple of things with this. You know, the one thing that we all want when it comes to vaccines, when it comes to masking, when it comes to the vid, is we all want the truth. We don't want truth over facts. No.
We choose truth over facts.
No. We want the truth. We want to know the data. We want to know the science. We want to know why we are treating something that does not kill 99.7% of the people who get it. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of people who get it that barely have symptoms, and we know all about the numbers when it comes to the vid and why we are treating it worse than anything that has ever been on the planet, period. And shutting everything down, and the loss of jobs in the economy. You already know the story. And then even when it comes to the vaccine, what is and isn't the truth? What is and isn't the facts? Because we're trying to figure out if we vaccinate. All right, you're telling us we have to have a vaccine passport because we're trying to encourage people to get the vaccine because it's important that they get it. Because if you get the vaccine, then you have something that other people do not have. And is that the fact that you're not going to carry the virus and you're not going to get sick? This is real world data we're talking about. Is that true? Did you know that? Did you know, if I were to tell you right now, as we speak, that if you get the vaccine, that we are told by the science and the data that is out there, and we've been talking about this for weeks, and now all of a sudden the CDC is suggesting it, that you're not going to carry the virus, you're not going to get sick, you get the vaccine, you are good to go, you can hug the grandkids, you can do whatever you want, you can actually get out into society, then why are we still social distancing? Why are we still masking up? Why are we not out there? Especially if you have the vaccine, why are you not out there living your life? Now, here is, and of course, you wouldn't have heard it because it was on Rachel Maddow's program. I think there's, about 7 people that watched it yesterday. And it's the CDC director who was saying, hey, listen, the vaccine thing, it's a big deal, and I'll tell you why.
So I'm so impressed with our ability to vaccinate at a clip of 3 million vaccinations a day. We have 93 million Americans who have gotten their first dose, 51 million who have gotten their second dose, and we can kind of almost see the end. We're vaccinating so very fast. Our data from the CDC today suggests, that vaccinated people do not carry the virus, don't get sick, and that it's not just in the clinical trials, but it's also in real world data.
Wow. All right. Brand new. They just had it yesterday. So there you go. Can't carry the virus if you've got the vaccine. You don't get sick. And it's not just clinical trials. It's real world data. It's there. All right. That it. We can all go out now. We can all get back to our jobs. We can all go. If you get the vaccine, incentive to get it so that you can get back to normal. Is that the suggestion? Jake is all frustrated. Like, what are we doing? Because the last I checked, we were told, no. You still have to mask up, still have to have social distancing. Can't do it, right? So what are we doing here? Why are you... there's something to be said about giving you just enough information to tease you and to make you feel like everything is going to get better. Because on the other side of the interview, she also says, I just want to let you know, by the way, we can't shut down and the restrictions and we got to continue to have them. We can't get back to anything. The mixed messages that are there. Well, you're telling us the vaccine, we don't have to worry about carrying or getting sick. We're good to go. But the mixed message that says, no, we can't have kids back in school. We can't be back in school. Teachers' unions have something to do with that. And don't get me started. The union, oh man, yeah, I know. I don't want to get off on a tangent. I will talk about teachers' unions in the state of Florida and even locally in the news about the Lee County School Board and the district and some other things that are going on, thanks to one school board member who wrote a letter to the governor saying, we got some problems in Lee County and you need to start doing some investigations. Here we go again. And I'll get to that in just a minute. But these mixed messages that have been out there, you have states like California who are now doing these color-coded, you got red and yellow and, blue and silver and, all different crazy colors. Depending on how many cases there are in certain areas of the state. And now you have one that's green. Does that make sense? Like, why would you need a green color chart, like green on a color chart, if you didn't think, because technically there would be no green. You would just be good to go, right? If you get down to a certain level, then there is no green. It's not like green go. It's like we don't have to have the green. We can just go. Unless you have green on a color chart that would say you can go for the time being because really this thing can pop and surge and move at any given moment. And then in that case, when does this all end? And that's been the frustrating part for so many people and the mixed messages, which is, well, if we get vaccinated, I can go hug my grandkid. No, you can't. Can I get 6 feet? No. Maybe 3 feet. 3 feet? Okay, you could probably get to 3 feet, but you still have to wear a mask. I have to wear a mask, but I'm not contagious. There's even real world data that suggests I'm not carrying the virus. I'm not going to get sick, so I can't get anybody else sick. So why can't I get... No, we don't want to get carried away. Don't you see? We're in the green right now, but at any minute, we can jump to yellow. That kind of power, how does that go away? It only goes away when you say enough is enough. Just not doing it. We're not playing this game anymore. There is no color green. The green is we need to get back to work. We need to get back to full employment. We need to get back to be able to not have just 25% or 50%, but everything has to be open full bump. We need to not worry about the mask and mask mandates, and certainly masks and mask mandates that don't work. Listen, as an individual, if you want to wear a mask, that's your choice. But to mandate things, we're not doing it. We're not shutting down businesses. We're not doing any of this anymore. We're not going back to lockdowns. It's not going to happen. Green, it means go, and we're going. Go! And especially with that news. So can we hold we're told that everybody's following CDC guidelines and the rules. Well, if the CDC is now talking about if you get the vaccine, you don't carry the virus, you don't get sick. Real world data says it, not just clinical trials, and we're good, right? Yeah. You still have countries like the UK that are literally saying, and I hate to say literally, but they are saying, calling out others in Britain if they are seen engaged in an odd way, like hugging their loved ones. Like if you see somebody on the street hugging their loved ones, you need to call them out. No. We're not doing that. We're just not going to. But I wanted to make mention of that because that is out there, and especially when you consider that now Star Trek is being talked about in the Florida Senate. Jeff Brandes wants to create a new law that would prevent the governor from shutting down businesses during the pandemic, unless at least 2 people in the cabinet agree. Now, I understand where he's coming from. The Republican state senator is saying what a lot of us have been saying here in the state, which is understand that this governor will not be the governor forever. And Governor DeSantis and even Governor Rick Scott, we remember that all of these races have been razor thin. They've been close races, and it could flip at any minute. And ask yourself what this state would be doing and what kind of condition we would be in if there was a Governor Gillum in charge right now. What would we do if there was a Governor Nikki Fried in charge right now? What would we be doing if there were a Democrat in charge right now? You know exactly what would be happening in this state. So the governor, so the senator, Brandes, is like, hey, I got an idea. At least 2 people in the cabinet have to agree if there is going to be shutting down of any kind of business during the pandemic. I see where he's going with this. The governor was talking about how he doesn't want to have these COVID passports. It's not going to happen in the state. He's not going to do it. He would do an executive order to make sure that that wouldn't happen. But then Jeff Brandes said,
the wrong governor could have radically, devastatingly impacted the state of Florida by shutting off thousands of businesses. It took 3 officers to blow up the Star Trek Enterprise. It should have taken at least 3 people to sign off on blowing up the economy of the state of Florida.
Do you know what he's talking about, Jake? It took 3 people had to enter codes to blow up the Star Trek ship to make it, right? That's what he said.
The wrong governor could have radically, devastatingly impacted the state of Florida by shutting off thousands of businesses. It took 3 officers to blow up the Star Trek Enterprise.
It took 3 to blow up the Star Trek Enterprise? So did Chewbacca do that, or did CP3PO do that? Which one of those? Were they one of the people that blew it up?
Beep boop.
I don't know. That's a joke. It's a Star Trek. I know all the Star Wars people are getting very upset with me right now. See the text. It doesn't take too long for the text to come in. All right, relax. It's a Star Wars joke. It's just that it doesn't.
Yeah, Anakin Ground Runner. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not working. I got to stop doing that. It's that because people are way too serious about their Star Wars. But anyway, So there's the. He's just saying, look, we have to have a couple of people on board to do something like this. And I get what he's saying. But you know what the bottom line is. It's very simple. The bottom line is that we're not going to have a Republican legislature and a Republican governor forever. And sooner or later, a Democrat's going to win that office. And when they do, you think your liberty and your freedom is at risk right now in the state of Florida. Oh, you just wait. And again, it goes to the politics even locally. On the heels of stories that we're starting to hear about, where there are people that are questioning, for example, what is happening with the Lee County School Board. Gwen Gittens, District 5 representative of the Lee County School Board, requested Governor DeSantis formally investigate the Lee County School District for waste, fraud, and abuse. And let me tell you something, in the specifics, it's bad. It's worse than just waste, fraud, and abuse. It's worse than that. She's saying a district in crisis. I implore you to investigate the Lee County School District. Superintendent of Schools, the Lee County School Board, for the sake of the children and taxpayers of Lee County. And she spells it out. And I'm bringing all of this up in what she said in this letter to the governor. Number one, because if you have a school board member who's questioning what's going on and is concerned, aren't you? I mean, is she somebody who's just going rogue and doing this on her own because what? Why would you do that? Because the claims that she's making could be easily investigated if the state were to do it and locally we were to keep people accountable and hold them accountable for the offices that they hold. And we'll get into more detail on this story coming up this morning and maybe even into tomorrow. But the other side of this is the critical part, and it goes back to soon a Democrat will be governor. It's just going to happen in the state of Florida. And locally, how people will pretend that they are Republicans, that will show up at all the Republican meetings, that will do all the right things to make you believe that they really are a Republican. They have an R after their name, maybe in some cases. In some cases, they're running in maybe school board races where you can't talk about the politics. Nope, you can't ask any question about whether they're a Republican or Democrat. They're non-political races, yeah. They're nonpartisan. No, they're not. Because everybody's a partisan. And let me tell you something. There are people and individuals that are more partisan than others. And you ask yourself, when it comes to the things that are being taught to your kids today, and everybody knows about this, the circumstances that are going on in certain schools, the stories that we hear in colleges and critical race theory and all of these things, ask yourself, who are the individuals that would push this? That would push the idea of critical race theory, of those that would push progressive ideology, that would push the left into our schools and into our kids' minds and what they would bring to a district. And then ask yourself who they would want to be the governor and who they would support in the teachers' unions as well. Who would they support? Who would they like to see? Everything that we've witnessed with COVID and keeping kids out of schools. And now we come to find out that these illegal children, they're going to have in places like San Diego, they're going to be able to go to classes. These illegals, the kids are going to be able to go to in-room class, in-school class, but the children that are in school in San Diego cannot go to classrooms. Why is that? A lot of questions. All right. Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD right now. Call in number 5 at 239-479-5592. I know it's been a while since we've played, and I wasn't paying attention to the clock, so we got to go. Let's get to it. You want to play? We'll do that next. 5th caller at 239-479-5592. We'll play Drew's College up next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic, here's Sabrina Katz.
Traffic is still very slow on the interstate from a crash that happened at mile marker 126. This is heading south of Alico. Now, just hazard lights here. Most of the scene is cleared, but traffic's still trying to work its way back up to speed. So 2 miles of a slowdown south of Daniels. Stick to tree line or 41. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Still starting off with a little bit of patchy fog inland, but that should wrap up pretty quickly as we approach 9 o'clock. Otherwise, sunshine abundant to start off the day with clouds mixing in this afternoon. High temperatures will peak in the upper 80s, even near record heat possible for some of you. That, of course, before those showers start to roll in around 2 o'clock this afternoon. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
This is good news, maybe exactly when you need it to. Right now, MediShare is waiving their new member fees. This could save you money on top of all that you'll save each month by becoming a member of MediShare. So many people are looking for a healthcare solution right now, seeing the cost of COBRA plans, for instance, and MediShare is the affordable alternative to health insurance. The typical family saves $500 a month. You might save even more. MediShare is a Christian community that shares each other's healthcare costs, and because of the current economic situation, they're making it easier than ever. Apply by March 31st. You can save an additional $170 on your first month. I'll give you the number here in a second. And if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Just tell them the promo code SHARE to receive your additional savings. Maybe now is the time to make the switch like more than 400,000 people already have and start saving. Here it is. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Goodbye, Beth. I'll see you later. I called National Exterminators. For just $46, they get all rodents and bugs. 23946, no bug. Ow!
Call the boys at National Exterminators at 23946, no bug, or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
Goodbye, Beth. I'll see you later. I called National Exterminators. For just $46, they get all rodents and bugs. 23946, no bug.
Ow! Call the boys at National Exterminators at 23946, no bug, or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list. And in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Gary, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection.
License number CCC 1326213.
The new administration has big plans for health care. Changes are coming that could limit your choices and make your health insurance premiums even higher. Tim Cooper at Health Plan Network recently saved a family of 4 here in the Fort Myers area $600 per month. Act now. Protect yourself and your family with a superior health plan that cannot be canceled. This is a nationwide PPO plan which allows you to pick your doctors and hospitals. Start saving 30 to 60% now. If you are on Obamacare, not insured, or on COBRA, you can look into a private health plan managed by you, not the government. Call Tim Cooper, an expert with 24 years experience, at 239-368-6712. That's 239-368-6712. Online at healthplannetwork.net. That's healthplannetwork.net.
Water is life in Southwest Florida. It drives our economy from tourism to fishing to boating and quality of life. This is Adam Botana from Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, and we talk water for an hour every weekend on Fox News Radio. We feature guests on water quality, water safety, and water fun, including great boating day trips and tips on fishing. Join us this Saturday at 7 a.m. for the Baywater Exclusive Boat Club Hour with Adam Botana on 92.5 Fox News.
Ever purchase an online item and either it doesn't fit, has missing parts, or became damaged? Trying to save a few bucks can end up costing more. My Shower Door is a locally owned and operated family business that measures, manufactures, and installs our own brand of frameless shower doors right here in Southwest Florida. And we were just named Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. With almost 80,000 shower doors installed, we have the experience and expertise. Plus, estimates are always free. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
Is your car a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it? Would you rather be driving a brand new Nissan equipped with all the latest technology and safety features? Hey, Aaron Walker here from Naples Nissan. If your trade-in is a 2012 or newer, yes, a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it, we'll give you the original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Bring us that old Chevy, Honda, Toyota, Ford. We don't care where you bought it from. We don't care if you bought it new or used. Go to NaplesNissan.com. Pick out your favorite new Nissan model with Bluetooth, backup camera, and that new car smell. You can have it all today after we pay you what you paid for your trade-in. Don't wait. Get full details at NaplesNissan.com.
Building bridges. I'm Chris Foster of Fox News, but not with Republicans. President Biden announces details of his infrastructure plan today. There's traditional spending on things like bridges and roads, with money for childcare and education also on the agenda.
One of the questions being at this point, how might you go about paying for that? The Transportation Secretary, Pete Buttigieg, within the last week had floated the idea of maybe there being a mileage tax, but has recently said that's not going to happen. He's also said that the Biden administration is not going to increase the gas tax. We did hear from the press secretary, Jen Psaki, as she was asked, well, might the top individual rate go back up once again to nearly 40%? Maybe would there be an increase in estate taxes? At this point, the White House is not yet willing to get into specifics in advance of this big rollout. What they are signaling, though, at this point is that tax increases on the wealthiest and on corporations are at the very core of the president's plan.
Fox's Blake Berman. Pfizer says its coronavirus vaccine is safe and effective in children 12 to 15 years old in a trial involving around 2,200 kids in the U.S. The shots are authorized now for people 16 and up. A Minneapolis firefighter will be back on the stand when the Derek Chauvin trial resumes this morning. She was there when the former police officer had his knee on George Floyd's neck as he died.
The majority of his weight balanced on top of Mr. Floyd's neck. In my memory, he had his hand in his pocket. He looked so comfortable.
Genevieve Hansen says she tried to provide medical assistance but was told to back off. A man accused of beating a 65-year-old Asian woman on a New York City sidewalk Monday is out on parole for killing his mother in 2002. Brandon Elliott, 38 years old, was arrested overnight at a nearby hotel being used as a homeless shelter. He's been out of prison for about a year and a half. There have been dozens of attacks this year against Asian people in New York and other cities. Charges in this case include assault as a hate crime. America's listening to Fox News.
Drowning in Iowa. 92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by New South Window Solutions. Find them online at newsouthwindow.com.
Wink News Traffic.
Traffic is still very slow on the interstate from a crash that happened at mile marker 126. This is heading south of Alico. Now, just hazard lights here. Most of the scene is cleared, but traffic's still trying to work its way back up to speed. So 2 miles of a slowdown south of Daniels. Stick to tree line or 41. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. We have another warm day on tap as temperatures soar into the upper 80s. Near record heat will be possible for some of you before a few showers start to bubble up around 2 o'clock. Those will even linger into the overnight hours, all ahead of a cold front that drops our temperatures to the 70s daily, 50s at night as we head toward the weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. At New South, we are determined to build the best Florida window. Energy-efficient windows that stand up to heat and hurricanes. We call it the ultimate Florida window. Factory direct and guaranteed for life. New South has installed tens of thousands of windows across the state and has been named one of the fastest growing window companies in the nation. And that is why we're New South proud.
Going on now. Save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
One of the things with running is I want to enjoy the run, but I never made it very far because the arches on my feet just killed me. So when I got to the end of my rope and I said I have to do something to get rid of the pain, and a couple people recommended the Good Feet store to me. I loved how I could go in and get a free personalized arch support fitting. They put that time, that work, that effort into helping you find the right arch supports. And you can walk around this store with these in your shoes and try them out before you purchase them. So after I got my arch supports, the arches on my feet stopped hurting and the pain instantly, literally instantly went away. So if you have pain, go. Find a Good Feet store and go. And there is an answer. Find the simple solution that will get rid of your pain. I'm Rondi, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
Attention type 2 diabetics. Did you know that the U.S. government just issued a patent on a system that reverses type 2 diabetes? That's right. So if you or someone you love has type 2 diabetes, you don't have to live with it any longer. If you are tired of taking medications every day and worrying about developing a severe complication like blindness, kidney failure, heart attack, stroke, Alzheimer's, ED, or amputation, now there is hope.
Now I'm not taking any medication at all. I really feel like this saved my life.
We are so confident we can help you that we guarantee results. If you are still taking any diabetic medications after following our program as directed, we'll give you a 100% refund plus $500 just for trying it. You have nothing to lose. To learn how to reverse your type 2 diabetes with the only patented system in the world, call now to reserve a seat at our next live seminar. Call 239-345-2560. That's 239-345-2560. That number again is 239-345-2560.
It's Easter at Mel's Diner.
We're bringing back good times and great food.
This Easter, Mel's is preparing your traditional favorites. Roasted turkey, Virginia ham steak, and roasted pork loin. Just $11.99, including mashed potatoes, veggies, and soup or salad. Prime rib dinner, $14.99. Roasted leg of lamb, just $1 more. Don't forget Mel's key lime catch, $12.99 with rice, veggies, and soup or salad. Wow! You can't do this at home for less. Plus, there's no cleanup. Easter carryout dinners for the whole family, serving 4 to 6 people, $59.99. Call the Mel's location nearest you to reserve your holiday meal today. If you're dining in, call ahead seating for 6 or more, gladly taken. Enjoy the quality cocktails at the full bar. Martinis, margaritas, Bloody Marys, $3.59. Happy Easter from Mel's Diner.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. Streaming live, drewsteele.com. That is the website. Steele has 3 E's, and also at Drew Steele Radio on Facebook. Yeah, I know the news is coming fast at us. Talking about vaccine passports. Talking about vaccinations, and now the CDC. The news gets convenient, everybody. Yesterday, we just played the audio, and the convenience of the news that came out on the heels of a story that is out today, which I'm going to get to in just a second. See if I can find this audio. Here it is, right?
So I'm so impressed with our ability to vaccinate at a clip of 3 million vaccinations a day. We have 93 million Americans who have gotten their first dose, 51 million who have gotten their second dose, and we can kind of almost see the end. We're vaccinating so very fast. Our data from the CDC today suggests, that vaccinated people do not carry the virus, don't get sick, and that it's not just in the clinical trials, but it's also in real-world data.
In real-world data, we're told. Real-world data. It's hard, easy for me to say. Oh, easy for her to say, hard for me to say. That's the CDC director yesterday on Rachel Maddow's program, so that's why you probably didn't hear about it. That's why I'm telling you. Believe me, I didn't watch. I got it from YouTube. But anyway, the point is that she made the comment yesterday that there it is. Our data from the CDC today suggests that the vaccinated people do not carry the virus, don't get sick, and that it's not just in clinical trials, but it's also in real-world data. Really? Okay. So if that's true, then we should have people vaccinated out and about, right? Don't worry about masks because they don't have it and they can't get it. They can't get sick and they don't carry the virus, so then no mask for them. 3 feet, 6 feet. Hey, how about no feet? How about hugging your relatives? No problem. You want to go see your grandmother in a nursing home? Well, maybe that's a little too carried away, but I mean, maybe those that are home, we're worried about whether or not we can do things once we get vaccinated. Sounds to me like we can, right? No, we can't. We still have to. Why? Why do we still have to mask, and why do we still have to do all of these other things if we're told that you get the vaccine You don't carry the virus, you don't get sick. But on the heels of that story comes this story just out this morning that everybody is hyping up. Pfizer says its COVID-19 vaccine protects kids as young as 12, which could open the door for expanded use in children by the fall, meaning that, is this the door opening now? So if the CDC is saying you get vaccinated, you don't carry it, you're not going to get sick. So if the kids get it, the vaccine that is, then we can have the kids back in school. We can get them vaccinated and then off they go back into school. Now, the question is, are you going to do that? Because what if you don't? What if you decide that you don't want to vaccinate your child? Do you get the opportunity to go to classes or not? There's a lot of the feeling that's out there that we've got mixed messages. We got those that are saying you get vaccinated and you're good to go. The CDC says it. But then we have municipalities, states, other places that are saying, look, no, not at all. No, you still have to mask up. You still have to stay distanced. When do we all get to get out and get back to business, get back to work, get back to life as normal? And it almost feels to people that I talk to, and many people that you probably talk to as well, that you have the chosen few who decide that they are going to follow the rules and not be rule breakers. And the rules are, listen, you got to get yourself vaccinated if you want to get back to school. You got to have a vaccine passport if you want to travel. You have to have a vaccine and proof of it so that you can, fill in the blank. And that's the road that we're going down. Believe me, you're going to hear this more and more and more today about this. So you've got that story that's out there. What else do we have? Oh, man, this is a pretty amazing story. And CNN, with their comments at CNN Politics, their website, is pretty unbelievable. So we come to find out that Kristi Noem, who has been under fire a little bit from conservatives, concerned about not signing this transgender bill in South Dakota, the concerns about the executive orders that are signed but would not sign a bill, vetoed a bill, as a matter of fact, when it comes to transgenders in sports, and the concerns about whether or not she was fighting for the state, fighting for the people in the state and what they wanted in the legislature, and the concerns of transgender athletes getting involved with sports there in the state of South Dakota, and whether or not that there would be a pushback from the NCAA that says if you sign this bill that ultimately kids in the state of South Dakota will not be able to participate in sports at an NCAA level. And then the governor may be backing down because of that, and questions as to whether or not there was going to be a fight from the governor with that respect. And then we come to hear this story today. CNN Politics talking specifically about Kristi Noem, and says, though the two executive orders signed by Noem do not explicitly mention transgender athletes, they reference the supposed harms of the participation of quote-unquote males in women's athletics, an echo of the transphobic claim cited in other similar legislative initiatives that transgender women are not women. The orders also reference biological sex, quote-unquote, a disputed term that refers to the sex as listed on students' original birth certificates. A disputed term, biological sex? Why would that be disputed? And then the paragraph that Eric Erickson in his tweet highlighted that says this. And this is from CNN Politics. CNN. It's not possible to know a person's gender identity at birth, and there is no consensus criteria for assigning sex at birth. This is CNN Politics. This is what they are telling their viewers, their listeners. This is what the left is telling us. That is their reality. That is their truth. That by default has to be our truth. No. No, that's not true. It's not possible to know a person's gender identity at birth. But you see what they're doing. You understand what they're trying to accomplish by saying this. The orders also reference biological sex, a disputed term that refers to the sex as listed on students' original birth certificates. So they are now, CNN is helping along with the left, and you know they're all one and the same, to twist around biological terms, to twist around science. As an agenda, as their truth as opposed to the truth. And how does this all end? How does it end? How does it end even when it comes to what I discussed earlier this morning about, well, whether it's cancel culture, for example? A poll released by The Hill, not a conservative group, showed that 64% of Americans believe that cancel culture is a threat to their freedom. Harvard CAP's Harris poll, surveyed released exclusively to The Hill, 64% stated that there's a growing cancel culture that is a threat to their freedom. 36% said they didn't view it as a threat. And 36% said it's a big problem. 32% said it was a moderate problem. Merriam-Webster defines cancel culture as the practice or tendency of engaging in mass canceling as a way of expressing disapproval and exerting social pressure. Do you see what's happening here? If you don't believe like CNN Politics and the left says you should believe about transgender athletes, then you will be canceled. And people see it as a threat. A majority of Americans see it as a threat, this cancel culture. And the only way to cancel culture is to cancel the cancel culture. Ultimately, they'll cancel themselves because they'll run out of people, individuals, places to cancel. And they'll just turn inward. They have to. It's just the natural progression. It doesn't stop. But you have to be able to say, no, we're not going to accept what we know to be the facts, not your facts or your truth or truth over facts or whatever you.
We choose truth over facts.
Yeah, no, the truth, not your truth. And with that, also comes with it the president of the United States, who has said some outrageous things when it comes to the Georgia election laws that have been signed by the governor, and how there are those now that want to cancel the state of Georgia, right? That there's now, because of the legislation there in Georgia, you have left-wing activists who want to boycott the state over this legislation aimed at strengthening election integrity. We wouldn't want that, would we? And the president of the United States, Joe Biden, who said some of the most outrageous things about it, what was his comments about it being like Jim Crow? It's more like Jim Eagle, right? Never mind the facts about what is going on with Georgia. And I mentioned this earlier about the Wall Street Journal opinion piece, Jim Eagle and Georgia's voting law. Biden compares the state of voting bills to Jim Crow, never mind the facts. Talked about how the new law leaves in place Sunday voting, a point of contention with earlier proposals. The legislature, rather, decided to expand weekend early voting statewide. 2 Saturdays instead of only one currently on the books. So they said, "Oh no! We're going to be canceling individuals' right to votes because there's only going to be one Sunday in place of no. There's 2 now. No, the new law also leaves in place no excuses absentee voting. Every eligible voter will continue to be allowed to request a mail-in ballot for the sake of simple convenience or for no reason at all. You just request it. The only thing that they want is to have an ID. You don't have to have a valid excuse, but you do have to be able to prove who you are, not by signature matching, which has been a mess there in the state. Because it's been subjective. Somebody looks and says, oh, that's definitely their signature. No, I don't think that is their signature. No, we put that aside. And how do they do it now? Instead of signature matching, you have to submit a state ID number. There you go. With their mail-in ballots or applications. So there's no arguing over the handwriting. You got ID. You have some kind of state ID number. Now we know it's you. But wait a second. I don't have an ID. Okay, well, the state will get one for you. For free. I can't pay for it. It's free. Well, I can't get to you. Oh, it's okay. We're going to come to you. We'll hand deliver it. What's the problem? There's a remedy for everything, everybody. When somebody tells you it can't be done, the government is there to tell you it can be done. Just depends on whether or not they want to. But this is the one that was getting me because it was some local news organizations that went out of their way to say, oh, in the state of Florida, guess what? We're going to have some of what's going on in Georgia and some of what the president's been telling you, how pernicious, how awful, how terrible the election law changes there in Georgia, how people are going to be losing their right to vote. It's going to be another one of these situations here in the state of Florida. Oh, this is just terrible. And well, it's quite the opposite. Florida Republican lawmakers are considering joining Georgia by prohibiting water for voters standing in lines in the heat near the polling places. No, that's not what Georgia's doing. Georgia's saying we don't want third-party individuals giving you food or water when you're waiting in line to vote because you might have Joe Schmo for Congress and what are you going to do? Have Joe Schmo on the bottle of water, Joe Schmo on your T-shirt and say, hey, Joe Schmo, why did you have this bottle of water? I know you're going in there and voting, so, here's your water. That's a bad thing, right? Both sides would see that as a bad thing because either side could use it. And we don't want either side doing anything like that. So the suggestion was, no, we're not going to have a third party do it. We'll have the polling place provide water. It'll be sitting there in an ice bucket, and you can go grab it if you want it. But somehow, some way, local news organizations made it about, we're going to, this controversial election bill in Georgia now could be making its way to the state of Florida. They're going to deny you water. No, that's not what they're doing in Georgia. And I'm pretty confident that's not what they would do here in the state of Florida either. But again, you've got to fight the cancel culture by canceling them out. You have to fight back against the president whose rhetoric is dangerous and wrong and going after an election law on integrity and saying that, oh, no, it's going to stop people from the right to vote when it's quite the opposite. When you hear some of the things that I mentioned, and then the lies about water, I think he actually brought that up. Let me see if I can find that audio. Right, didn't he? He did, right? He talked about the water aspect of it specifically.
It's sick. This whole initiative is. It's sick. It's sick.
What part of it is sick that I just read to you? What's sick?
Deciding in some states that you cannot bring water to people standing in line, waiting to vote.
Nope, that's not what it says. Yeah, he brought it up. That's not what it's talking about third party individual. You don't see, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because that's what you're going to get. You're going to get the soundbite of him talking about that, and people are like, this is outrageous. How could they do? You're telling me they're going to do it in the state of Florida too? There's a House bill right now, House Bill 7041. No food, no water. Is that exactly what's happening? It's not happening in Georgia. But again, you jump on it. You make it sound like it's something that's going to happen here because, the evil Republicans and the governor, who is evil as well, is trying to do whatever they can to stop individuals from voting, which is not what's happening at all. But you go ahead and run with it. 239-479-5592. All right, let's take a break. We'll get to your calls coming up. The top 5 audio clips of the day, the 5 at 8:35 and more on the way. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News right all along. DrewSteele.com is the website if you want to watch. You can do that right now. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate it, and we appreciate Sabrina Katz. She's got your traffic.
Traffic is slowing down on the interstate. Now, it's trying to work its way back up to speed south of Daniels. Not quite there yet. So you have Tree Line or US 41. Also, creep and crawl slowdowns on Corkscrew Road west of Bellaterra to the interstate. Average speed around 13 miles per hour. And a slowdown on Old 41 if you're heading south to Shangri-La Road. Better option US 41. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Still starting off with a little bit of patchy fog inland, but that should wrap up pretty quickly as we approach 9 o'clock. Otherwise, sunshine abundant to start off the day with clouds mixing in this afternoon. High temperatures will peak in the upper 80s, even near record heat possible for some of you. That, of course, before those showers start to roll in around 2 o'clock this afternoon. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
With the Diamond District, you get the best of both worlds. Jason and Todd are wholesale diamond brokers selling to the public and jewelry stores across the country at wholesale prices. The Diamond District is also a retail store that you can visit every day and see the largest selection of GIA and Forevermark loose certified diamonds.
Rockstar Harley has secured 0% APR financing on all new Harley Davidsons this week. That's right, Cupcake. 0% annual percentage rate and financing terms that can save you thousands on interest. Over 300 new and used Harleys in stock at Rockstar Harley, ready for immediate delivery. Finance experts on site to get you approved. 0% APR on all new Harleys this week. Ooh. That's right, Sugar Dumpling. Buy a Harley and pay 0 interest. Rockstar Harley Davidson is the #1 volume Harley dealer in Florida. It's the best time to buy at Rockstar Harley. On approval of credit and Sunday.
Goodbye, best. I'll see you later. I called National Exterminators. For just $46, they get all rodents and bugs. 23946, no bug. Ow!
Call the boys at National Exterminators at 23946, no bug. Or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
Goodbye, pest. I'll see you later. I called National Exterminators. For just $46, they get all rodents and bugs. 23946, no bug.
Ow! Call the boys at National Exterminators at 23946, no bug. Or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
What makes Genesis of Naples the #1 selling Genesis dealer in the nation? It's our incredible selection and professional sales staff. Hi, I'm Sheila Zellers, owner of Genesis of Naples. When I drive my beautiful new 2021 Genesis GV80 around town, the first thing everyone says to me is, what is that beautiful SUV? I tell them it's the all-new first ever SUV from Genesis. Then they usually ask, how much does it cost? I know it's hard to believe, but it starts at just $49,500 and the fully equipped Prestige for just over $70,000. It has an amazing interior and breathtaking design and your choice of turbo engines in rear and all-wheel drive. But that's not all. New 2021 Genesis G70s have 0% financing and 72 months plus $1,000 cash back. And we have a huge selection of the all-new 2021 Genesis G80s and G90s. Come visit Genesis of Naples on Airport Road or genesisofnaples.com.
All offers with approved credit on select models. Based on January 2021 retail sales. 72 months of $0 per month per 1,000 finance. No down payment required.
Hey, it's Drew Steele visiting with my good friend TJ, owner of the Floor Meisters in Naples. And, you know, TJ, we talk about core tech. A lot of people talk about core tech. But tell people and explain why so many people love their core tech floors.
Core tech is built to be waterproof, kid-proof, and pet-proof. It looks just like wood. Comes anywhere from 6 inches wide to 9 inches wide, all the way up to 86 inches long. Comes in a wide variety of colors, with a bevel, without a bevel, warm tones, cool tones, any color to make your house look beautiful.
So you want to see it for yourself? Go to the Floor Meisters. You're going to really love it. 6281 Naples Boulevard next to Costco. Give them a call. 239-596-4964. 239-596-4964. or on the web at floormeisters.com.
Hey, feel like you've heard everything there is to hear about COVID? Oh man, think again. There are new forms of the virus spreading quickly across the country. So now it's more important than ever to protect yourself, your friends, and your family. How? Well, first, wear a mask. Look for something that fits snugly and covers your mouth and nose. It'll help protect anyone you come into contact with, too. And speaking of people around you, try to have fewer of them, so stay at least 6 feet apart from others when you're out of the house and avoid crowds. Then, get vaccinated when it's your turn. All of this will be a great help in beating the new forms of the virus. And don't worry, we'll do our part to keep you updated on COVID. But it'll take all of us to help slow the spread. We can do this. Learn more at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
He is not here. He is risen. Why was Jesus crucified on the cross? And what it could mean for you.
Join First Assembly of God in Fort Myers for their Good Friday and Easter services as members and guests worship together. Good Friday communion service times are 11 a.m., 12 noon, 1 p.m., 2, 3, and 6:30 p.m. Easter services begin Saturday at 6 p.m. with Pastor Russ. First Assembly sunrise service begins at 7 a.m. outside under the portico with Reggie Dabbs speaking. Easter Sunday, join Pastor Russ with the choir and orchestra at 8 a.m., 9:30, or 11 a.m. Learn what Easter means to the world and what it could mean for you. You'll find Good Friday and Easter service times online at famfm.com. Worship together this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at First Assembly of God in Fort Myers at the corner of Colonial Boulevard and Summerlin Road.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato's Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News Traffic.
Traffic is slowing down on the interstate. Now it's trying to work its way back up to speed south of Daniels. Not quite there yet. So you have Tree Line or US 41. Also, creep and crawl slowdowns on Corkscrew Road west of Bellaterra to the interstate. Average speed around 13 miles per hour. And a slowdown on Old 41 if you're heading south to Shangri-La Road. Better option US 41. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. We have another warm day on tap as temperatures soar to the upper 80s. Near record heat will be possible for some of you before a few showers start to bubble up around 2 o'clock. Those will even linger into the overnight hours, all ahead of a cold front that drops our temperatures to the 70s daily, 50s at night as we head toward the weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
It's not the Republican Party versus the Democrat Party.
Talking about what matters.
It's the Republican Party versus an organized crime syndicate.
92.5 Fox News.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Hi, it's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes. They say love and passion makes the world go round. Love for home, family, your country, partner, a friend, and love for food. Stevie wants to be part of your love with our food, drink, sports, and fun. Our passion for your satisfaction brings our love to all of our great customers. Whether it's our brisket short rib burgers, Chicago pizza, fajitas, wings, fish fry, or ribs, it's delivered to your table with love. So at Stevie's, we invite you to share our love of great food, drinks, sports, and fun. You'll never get bored or broke. We feel loved by the sound of our great customers. We promise to treat you like family at your home away from home. I guarantee it. For daily specials, go to StevieTomato.com. Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page, Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. Come, come, come.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
For For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Dan Martineau from D.R. Martineau Roofing. For 30 years, we have been offering the best warranties in the industry. Remember, D.R. Martineau Roofing. Integrity, knowledge, service. Just Google DRM Roofing.
License number CCC 1326954.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
So it's almost time for Florida snowbirds to migrate back to their northern homes. Will you be heading home soon? Please consider donating any of your unopened pantry items before you leave town and be part of Lee County's 3rd annual Donated Not Wasted Food Rescue. From Monday, March 22nd through Monday, April 5th, you can drop off unopened canned or dry goods at any library or any Lee County Recreation Center. Additional collection containers are located at the 6 Mile Cypress Slough and the Lee County Solid Waste's Topaz Court Household Chemical Waste Facility. So as you prepare to leave for the season, please consider being part of this effort to reduce food waste in Southwest Florida. Please join Lee County government as they partner with Harry Chapin Food Bank, Fox 4, Waste Pro, and libraries of Sanibel and Fort Myers Beach to rescue food that might otherwise end up in the waste stream and instead get that food to hungry people. Donated, not wasted. Lee County's Food Rescue, March 22nd through April 5th. Be part of it.
Guys, more candles on the cake means less testosterone in the tank. But we can turn this back into this.
Oh, yeah.
You just need a tune-up.
In men, low testosterone can lead to muscle loss, extra body fat, fatigue, depression, and erectile dysfunction. Suboptimal hormone levels are associated with the development of disease states like osteoporosis, heart disease, and stroke. At Neogenics, we specialize in testosterone, growth hormone promoters, bioidentical hormones, and nutritional programs designed to correct these imbalances and make you feel revitalized. See why patients from across the country are coming to Neogenics and take the first step to feeling great again. Call Neogenics for a free consultation at 277-9999 or find us online at neogenicmd.com. That's 277-9999. neogenicmd.com. Neogenics, rediscover your youth. 277-9999.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, 239-479-5592. We're going to get to your calls coming up in just a second. First, we've got, by the way, drewsteele.com, the website, if you want to watch the program. We do appreciate it. Top 5 audio clips of the day. Here we go. The 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5. That was one of the weirdest interviews I've ever conducted. That story just appeared in the news a couple of hours ago. And on the certainty that there's always more than you read in the newspaper, we immediately called Matt Gaetz and asked him to come on and tell us more, which, as you saw, he did. I don't think that clarified much, but it certainly showed this is a deeply interesting story, and we'll be following it. Don't quite understand it. But we'll bring you more when we find out.
Yeah, that was Tucker Carlson last night, who had Matt Gaetz on immediately after the news was breaking that there was an investigation by the Justice Department over alleged sexual relations with a 17-year-old. Is that what it is? Or was it sex trafficking? I mean, it was weird, crazy charges that Matt Gaetz was defending on the program last night and saying it never happened, and then called out names, specific names. And afterwards, Tucker's like, that was one of the strangest interviews I've ever had in my life. But we continue to watch the news, and we'll talk a little bit more. In case you missed the story, we'll talk a little bit more about that coming up.
Number 4.
The wrong governor could have radically, devastatingly impacted the state of Florida by shutting off thousands of businesses. It took 3 officers to blow up the Star Trek Enterprise. It should have taken at least 3 people to sign off on blowing up the economy of the state of Florida.
How do you not appreciate, come on, everybody, how do you not appreciate a Florida state senator, Jeff Brandes, saying he wants to create a new law would prevent the governor from shutting down businesses during a pandemic unless at least 2 people in the cabinet agree. And he made reference to Star Trek and how 3 people had to enter codes before they could make the ship self-destruct. And listen, Star Trek being used at the state capitol, that's really the story, because, it's what Chewbacca could get in trouble with C-3PO. Is that how Star Trek works? I get confused by them.
Number 3. And we can kind of almost see the end. We're vaccinating so very fast. Our data from the CDC today suggests, that vaccinated people do not carry the virus, don't get sick, and that it's not just in the clinical trials, but it's also in real world data.
All right, so that's the CDC director who yesterday on Rachel Maddow's program, so about 7 of you actually watched it, so that's why I'm here. She said that vaccination's going well, 3 million a day, 93 million Americans. And oh, by the way, data now suggests that the vaccinated people don't carry the virus, don't get sick, not just in clinical trials, but also in real world data. Now, some people have been saying, well, that's not true. And some people are saying, no, it's absolutely true. Again, going to the confusion since the start of the pandemic as to what is truth, what is facts, truth over facts, Joe Biden's truth over facts. And I
got hairy legs.
That's not really necessary. So does that mean now if you get vaccinated that you have nothing to worry about? You don't have to mask up. You don't have to be 3 feet or 6 feet. You can actually hug your relatives. You might even be able to get back to normal because you're not going to get sick. You're not carrying the virus. Isn't that what we're supposed to? But nobody wants to confirm or deny that. How do we not know this by now?
Number 2.
More parents are seeing the value of educators when they had to bring their kids and saying, we're not paying them nearly enough.
Yeah, that's the Vice President of the United States, Harris, doing it again. Why is it that every time she talks about something uncomfortable, she's always laughing? And there it was again, talking about schools and getting kids back in school and what school districts are doing and this uncomfortable conversation about what they're doing in schools and getting back to school. And all of a sudden there she is, she's laughing again. Well, I don't understand. It's the weirdest thing that every time she's in an uncomfortable situation or has to talk about something uncomfortable, there's that uncomfortable laugh. It's uncomfortable.
Number 1.
They want to say, what about the surge? Well, first of all, just gut check, stop. Anyone who's using the term surge around you consciously is trying to invoke a militaristic frame. And that's a problem because this is not a surge. These are children and they are not insurgents and we are not being invaded, which, by the way, is a white supremacist idea.
Oh, boy. There's AOC who decided to break her silence on what's going on along the border and saying, if you say the word invasion, it's a white supremacy word. Surge. If you use the word surge anywhere, it's militaristic. You can't be doing that.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Hey, does anybody want to tell her, or should I be the one to say it? Oh, heck, I'll be the one to say it. She's saying that if you use the word surge, it's militaristic and, this whole white supremacy and... Wait a second.
What I would do as president is several more things because things have changed. I would, in fact, make sure that we immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum. They deserve to be heard. That's who we are.
They want to say, what about the surge? Well, first of all, just gut check, stop. Anyone who's using the term surge around you consciously is trying to invoke a militaristic frame.
Oh, all right, I get it. No, I got this figured out. She's saying, when it comes to Joe Biden, who used the word surge, right, during the debates and surge on the border, that people should. I mean, if you want asylum, you should surge the border, right? No. You heard her say, no. If people are using the word surge, oh, no, that's militaristic. Yeah, but you're not listening. Listen carefully here's what she says, right?
Anyone who's using the term surge around you consciously...
that's the key.
consciously.
And everybody knows Joe Biden's not conscious. So that's the out. That's the out. Everybody else uses it. It's militaristic. When Joe Biden uses it, no. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's because he's not. It's people who are conscious.
Consciously?
He's not consciously doing anything.
I am not the expert.
All right, 239-479-5592. A lot of calls coming in right now, so why don't we do that today? We'll take your calls right now. You want to talk about anything that we've been talking about this morning? Whatever it is, let's do the thing.
You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing.
All right, let's go to your calls. Let's see, Doris is in Naples. Doris, what's your thing this morning, Doris?
I wanted to go back to where you were talking about the Georgia voting law.
Yes, in Georgia, this new voting law where you're being told by the President of the United States, it is awful, it's horrible, it's pernicious, it's un-American, it's sick, and it makes Jim Crow look like Jim Eagle, except when you get to the actual fact-checking and you come to find out, yeah, there's a lot of things in there that are not pernicious or bad or anything like that. It's Democrats complaining because they want to make everything, maybe racist, and that's how we get people all nervous and change their minds. But there's nothing in there like that. It's quite the opposite, as a matter of fact. So, what were you thinking?
Well, I was just curious as to when human beings evolved into being like cows, where we need to eat all our waking moments, that we can't stand in a line for an hour or two without eating.
Okay. So part of it is Joe Biden, who was saying this is such an outrageous thing. Can you believe it? People can't even get a glass of water, right? And how outrageous is that? Let me see if I can find it, because he said it the other day.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, you heard about that. Here's where he said it.
It's sick. This whole initiative is. It's sick. It's sick. Deciding in some states that you cannot bring water to people standing in line waiting to vote.
That's not true. That's not what's happening. And in Georgia, what exactly is happening is they don't want a third party showing up, which makes sense, right? So you have Joe Schmo for Congress, and you're waiting there. And I know, see, here's the thing, Doris. Look, it's ridiculous. Everybody knows that in Georgia and Florida, August, September, October, you're bringing a sweater to the polling place because it's cold. It's just flat out cold. Nobody can tell me any different. Everybody knows how chilly it gets. And so really water or food or anything like that, that's ridiculous. Who's going to think about bringing water when it's August or September? It's not like it's hot. And so if there was a moment where they get to the line and it's like, well, I didn't expect it to be this long, Doris. See, that's the thing. I thought it was only going to be 5 minutes. Instead, it's going to be an hour and 5 minutes. I wasn't prepared for that, so I didn't bring any water. What Georgia is saying is you can't be a third party Joe Schmo for Congress and saying, hey, wearing a Joe Schmo for Congress shirt, having a bottle of water that says Joe Schmo for Congress on the bottle. You know how the fancy bottles, people have their own bottled water now these days. And it says, here's Joe Schmo's water. He wants you to have water because he knows you're thirsty. And, oh, by the way, I know who you're going to be voting for, right? That kind of thing, wink and a nod. Maybe not saying it, but the idea that a third party would hand you water. They're saying, no, we'll supply water. The elections officials will supply water in a place that's like a bucket where you can get water, or if somebody wants to supply food, it won't be by a third party. Nobody's saying you can't have food or drink, but it's electioneering. That's the part of it that they're saying no to. Yeah.
Of course. I mean, it's only sane to do that.
Yeah. No, we've thrown out common sense. Doris, are you sitting here on this phone right now talking to me about common sense? How dare you?
Oh, I know. Isn't it terrible?
No, it's actually.
Why would anyone want common sense?
It's an awful thing.
It really is.
It really is. All right. Well, thank you for the call there, Doris. All right, let's go to Mark. Mark's in Arcadia, wanted to weigh in. What's your thing this morning, Mark?
Well, my thing is, Drew, that you're not pronouncing the vice president's name right.
Oh, gosh.
Tommy LaHarris.
Oh, I see what you did there. All right. Yeah, I got you. All right. Is that it?
And it's Jen Psaki.
I'll circle back.
Okay. 239-479-5592. I did take the calls on it. All right. What was I going to? Oh, yeah. She's got this uncomfortable laugh all the time. It's like
More parents are seeing the value of educators when they had to bring their kids.
it's just she can't even get through a sentence. Even during the debates, where she went after Joe Biden. Remember during the debates? And then she was on Colbert's program, and he's like, "Well, how are you doing this? Are you going to be the vice president with you guys getting along?" And
It was a debate.
Not everybody landed punches like you did, though.
It was a debate.
So you don't mean it.
It was a debate. That the whole reason, literally, it was a debate. It was called a debate.
I understand.
Travel to the debate.
I just can't do it. Yeah. What's up? What do you do? Wait, Jake wanted to say something. He's raising his hand. Nobody can see you. Well, if you're watching at drewsteele.com, you can see him. Go ahead.
So you mean to tell me? I'm not going to say anything.
Okay, don't say. Well, that was worth it. All right, good thing you tuned
I'm
in.
just trying to think of politically
don't
correct way to say it.
don't. If you can't be, if you can't be politically correct,
be
then-
nice.
Yeah, don't be anything. Just you're doing fine. You're doing a good
She
job.
laughed at babies on the border too.
Okay. 239-4. Yeah, she did. 239-479-5592. Yep. Right. That whole thing. No, you're right. Oh man, there's so much that I want to get to. I wanted to. I guess I could wait till tomorrow. Bill Maher said something over the weekend about what's wrong with schools these days. Man, and he nailed it. But I'll play it tomorrow. I was going to mention a little bit more about Matt Gaetz, how the story with Matt Gaetz is really bizarre. And I'm not sure I understand the whole thing. And as you've got an individual that was called out by Matt Gaetz, who was making accusations against him, saying that he was, I guess, Matt Gaetz said that David McGee, a former federal prosecutor, was trying to extort the family. And David McGee, a former federal prosecutor, goes to the Daily Beast and says Matt Gaetz is attempting to distract from his legal issues that are upcoming about trafficking, sex trafficking, underage girls. Like, what? And he was talking about the family troubled, went to the FBI, went to the Department of Justice, concerned about attempted extortion of a member of Congress. They asked his dad to wear a wire, and he did with the former Department of Justice official. He wants the FBI to release the audio recordings that'll prove the innocence, to say that the allegations aren't true, trying to bleed the family out of money. And the New York Times exposed this story, and before it got any further, there's Matt Gaetz, who's jumping on to Tucker Carlson's show and saying this is all for extortion. And I just want this thing to play out a little longer, because it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Both sides, where this is going. And the only thing that I could figure out at first blush in looking at this story is that the person that there's a larger investigation that's been going on under the Trump administration, a political ally of his, a local official in Florida named Joel Greenberg, who was indicted last summer on an array of charges, including sex trafficking of a child and financially supporting people in exchange for sex, at least one of whom was an underage girl. This is the New York Times story. So it appears as if they're trying to connect the dots almost maybe right up to the top, trying to say, a friend of a friend. And so that kind of connection is where they're trying to go with this. And again, this is one of those stories that even if everything just disappears, even if it all goes away, as far as Matt Gaetz is concerned, the damage is done. It's already out there. And there are half the people in this country who will go along with this, even if the truth comes out quite the opposite of the story that was presented. Because that's where we are. All right, Lewis is in Fort Myers. Wanted to comment on how Vice President Harris laughs.
Yeah, I tell you, Drew, it's the same thing that Hillary does. They both lie all the time, but when they're telling a huge lie, one that's big enough to make them feel uncomfortable, it's a psychological reaction to laugh. She's telling the world, I'm an effing liar when she's laughing.
All right, well, we have plenty of ways to say that other than that way, but okay, yeah. So Hillary laughs.
Again.
Yeah, and Pelosi laughs too. They all laugh like that. Interesting.
Bowl of doggy do.
All right, not necessary. That wasn't necessary either. Ready to go? Let's go. All right, that's going to do it for this very program. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, 6 to 9 a.m. And if anytime you want to watch, drewsteele.com is the website. You can go there and you can watch even right now as we're saying goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow. Glenn Beck is next. Yeah, and I got to get to that Bill Maher comment on schools because it is spot on and it does speak volumes to how there was a time when the parents went to the teachers and the parent meetings and the parents said what they wanted to see happening in the schools, and the teachers and the district were like, oh man, parents are upset. We got to make some changes. Isn't it weird how now it's the opposite? Now it's almost like the district, the teachers tell the parents what's going on, and the parents are just sitting back and going, oh, well, we better follow the rules here. How did that all flip? All right. Let's find out what's happening with the remainder of the forecast with Wink News meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Still starting off with a little bit of patchy fog inland, but that should wrap up pretty quickly as we approach 9 o'clock. Otherwise,